Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our show.
Welcome. How are you today, Kendra?
Um, I'm doing okay. It's a little bit of craziness going on around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're repainting our buildings, and I had to move everything off of the porch the other night. And then they decided to turn the sprinklers back on, so all my shit got wet.
Uh-oh.
And then I was like telling the dude, I gotta move some stuff back. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to maneuver around it. Like it's
Oh,
not
man.
that big a deal because it can't get wet. I've got a
Right.
covered porch. I have stuff out there that can't go anywhere else. So, and I packed up all kinds of boxes today.
Me too.
Just so much shipping.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I had to open up some boxes so I could put more stuff in it. And then I couldn't find my printer to print out the labels. So I was really upset about this. I found it, and then I couldn't get it to. It wouldn't reach where I had it. It wouldn't reach the outlet, and I'm like, this is not happening to me. So I had to
Yeah.
change everything around. That was already like unorganized, and I started to organize everything. So I'm kind of like zoning out now,
Yeah. I've been like, go, go, go. Like it was like
right, and I'm like, chill now. I ate something, and I'm like,
I got to do the vacuum. I had to do laundry over here, do this, do that. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh gosh, it's 5:30 already. Oh man.
Yeah, we did. What is up, everybody? Hello. Sweet Cheeks, Kimberly Mills, Flutter Yo, Tandy, Dottie, Stacy, Rose,
Flutter,
Alberta,
Diana, Alberta,
Sue,
Candy, Lisa Ann,
MZ Shadowrunner,
Sue.
Whoop, Diana. Diana's here. She must be on break. Let's
Best.
Marsha O, Lisa, Pam. Wow, everybody's here early.
They're
What's
here
going on,
early.
everybody?
It's right on
Sleazy
time.
and fancy. Funny.
Yeah.
So,
Oopsie.
yeah, we're gonna. I know everybody's waiting. Is
We're going
anybody
to start
waiting for
off with
anybody?
some news.
Yeah. Let's start with some news. When does the late bell ring? News. Oh my goodness.
Is it
Tori,
hot
what's
there?
up?
Or is it still spring like?
It's cold here. I have the fan on.
Okay, that makes no sense. It's cold, but you have the fan on?
Well, the heater fan thing.
Oh.
You always say, don't you have a fan on? It's so loud.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I was going to complain. I was just warming
Oh,
up
you
to
were? Okay. Well, yeah, it's on. It's blowing some heat into my face.
it.
I had a dream that Kendra was a teacher.
Well, that's a true dream. I have been a teacher.
Wendy, what's up?
They're not too far off there.
Mark is waiting. What are you waiting for?
So, with him, everything, anything, all of it.
Jerry B, what's up? What's going on? Hello. I have no idea what they're all waiting for. Do you?
No,
I don't know.
I don't know. But
Max got thumbs up. What?
I do know that you don't watch the news, so I have to tell you the things that go on in the world, so
Yeah,
that you're.
I don't watch the news. Why? What's going on in the news?
Well, there was a mass shooting.
Oh no. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I'm feeling like this is a sad thing where unfortunately we're going to be doing this weekly in the news with there was another mass shooting.
Oh, great.
This one was Monday morning in Kentucky, in Louisville, Kentucky. And 5 people were killed. 9 others were badly injured when a gunman opened fire in a bank.
Unbelievable.
And the usual gun was there, the AK, all the shooter's favorite. And the shooter actually had access to the building and was there and prepared when people arrived because he used to work at the bank.
And is that
And
why he pulled this?
yeah, he was going to get fired.
Oh my god.
And so
Mimi!
not sure what else was happening, but
Hey, Carolyn!
he decided this was the best way to end his life and kill others, unfortunately, with him. But again, the
If you
cops
want to end your
arrived.
life, okay, not that this is a good thing by any means. First of all, there's a suicide prevention. Or are they calling it suicide prevention anymore? I'm not really sure, so pardon me. Um, but why do you have to take others out with you? Is my question.
Right. I sort of at this point feel like you want to go and expire yourself early,
Right.
fine. That's your choice. Go ahead. But
Well,
why do
don't
you
say
have to
that. I get
kill
what you mean,
others?
but just don't say that. Just the wording could be taken wrong. Just,
It's like, bye-bye.
yeah,
Leave everybody else alone,
yeah.
you
There's no
know?
way. Hey, Beth. There's, why you have to go and hurt other people and ruin other families. I mean,
Well, and um one of the people that was shot was a police officer who was shot in the head. And there hasn't been any real news around that.
hey, Peggy.
So it's a sad situation there. But the body cam footage of the police officer who shot and killed the shooter is available online for your viewing pleasure.
It's
The police
considering how
did
like nonchalant, like just saying something like this story could be.
right. It's
Like here's
just like
another one. Like
right.
that's like sad in itself.
And this was again, the cops did a great job of showing up promptly. They knew what to do. They were in position, all the things. Took them an
Right.
extra few minutes because it was a glass front building and it had that blue glass, so you can't see through it. So they had trouble just seeing him to get the shot, but it took
Right.
4 minutes and they got it. So, something has got to absolutely change because the police show up, and they would like to talk with you, talk you down, stop doing it, turn over your gun, blah, 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 blah. But these shooters all seem to be going, nope, we're going to exchange gunfire as soon as we see you.
Right.
And that's what this shooter did. In fact, the shooter sat down after they did the shooting inside the bank and waited for the cops to come.
Really.
And he was live streaming the whole thing on Instagram. And the bank was just about to open and they were having their little morning meeting. And so there were some people on a Zoom call for that, which was typical. And so the people on Zoom saw the whole thing happening as well.
Oh my god.
So it was awfully horrific. But the problem here is that the police officers wear bulletproof vests, but
Right.
bulletproof vests are not able to withstand the bullets from an AR-15.
Ah.
So now we have to do something to help change that. I don't know. It's crazy. I understand like so many parts of this need to get addressed, but I looked up some facts around it, and Kentucky has a permitless carry law. And in 2019, they passed that law saying that it would bring down gun violence, having more guns in public, kind of keep everybody behaved. However, from 2019 through the end of 2022, gun violence in Kentucky went up 75%.
Wow.
So the stats seem to say differently than the thought around that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just
That's so sad. Those poor families, you know?
yeah, and there was I believe it was like 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-old, like every age group of family, dads, moms, grandpas, everybody, and it just there's no deterring this. Once these people have made up their minds, it happens, you
Right?
know?
Yeah.
So, but murder rates are higher in every state that has minimal requirements on obtaining guns and no laws requiring permits and laws. That is a true fact now. So there are some things that can try to at least start to begin to get done, but our government cannot put their head on straight to try any of it, I'm sure. So it's almost like the wild, wild west again.
Right. Wow.
But do you know the state with the least gun violence?
Is
Take a guess.
Florida?
No.
California.
No. No, sort of, but no. The top number one.
But I don't know. New York?
Hawaii.
Oh. I think you're trying
And
to trick me somehow. I thought it
no
was like, it
number
was going to be a surprise. Like it's one of, like New York or California.
no, it's Hawaii least gun violence with New York being number two.
Really?
Isn't that so? Massachusetts number three, Rhode Island is number four, Connecticut is number five, and tied for sixth is California and New Jersey.
That's really weird. They probably have something off there.
Isn't that strange? I'm like, the least gun violence, huh? Well, all
I
right.
don't know
I
why
mean,
Chicago's not on there. If you got the others there, Chicago
they
should be on
probably have the most, is why.
the
I was just so shocked. I was like, wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
So let's just all hope that something gets to be happening around all this gun violence, because it's getting to be where you can't go to the bank now. We'll add that to the list of where we can't go.
Can't go to the mall. You can't go to the movies. Can't go to a nightclub. Can't go to the bank. Can't go to the post office.
Right?
Kids can't go to school. You know.
No, you can't go to
And
college. You can't go to a concert. You can't go
people hiding in
anywhere.
the corners, come on out and say hi. I'm sorry. That sounds so funny. I think I've heard that somewhere
Right?
before.
Church is another one. That's we can't do that. We get shot everywhere we go.
Come on out, say hello. Don't be afraid. We won't block you if you talk. Not here.
Well, while everybody worries about the shadow lurkers, they can stay in the dark. They like the darkness.
Yeah.
So, question for you.
Uh huh.
Have you ever heard of the Dalai Lama?
Yes, I have. Oh my God. I saw it. What is
So,
up with that?
the Dalai Lama kissed a child on the lips and then asked him to suck his tongue.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, yeah, what? No. But there's a full on video of it. So again, feel free to Google yourself a frenzy and go look it up. And he did then issue an apology. But the apology wasn't too great, because the apology basically said that this is something that has been happening and that he's been doing for a while. So why are you upset now?
I don't
Um,
understand why he's doing it at all.
right. And I'm like, yeah, that's not
Like
making
this
this
kind of
any
coincides with
better.
that whole like the whole rabbit hole thing that like all these like elite people and children and I mean I don't even want to go there. I really don't. But when you see that, it kind of makes you wonder. the Dalai Lama is doing this. Like, what's going on here? You know,
Right? It's insane. And
if
so,
they start trying to make that acceptable now, I'm sorry.
oh no, no, this
People are
was
gonna have to
not.
start standing their ground and putting their foot down, okay? Because this stuff is no. There's only so much you can take here. You know, that's
Right.
unacceptable.
And I think that it's like literally nothing is what it seems if it is a popular or famous figure anymore. They all are crumbling. They're just every time you turn around, there's something wrong with another one, you know. And like, good old Andrew, your favorite.
I
You know how you love that royal family.
can't stand them.
Well, Charles is really agitated right now, can we just say? He's
What is
trying
the
to prepare for his coronation.
God,
And
can't we just get that over with? Isn't he king yet? I mean, come on. This like, how long does it take to make him king? He's gonna be king. Do it already. What's
right.
what
I
is
mean, he
what's the holdup?
well, the coronation ceremony is in the beginning of May 5th, something like that. I don't know, something like that. And we're still waiting on the response if Harry and Meghan are going to show. We don't know yet. And
Do we care?
I guess Andrew's all bent out of shape because of his lack of involvement, but Charles is done with his crap. And he has no royal duties anymore. But he does say,
Harry.
you're my brother.
Okay,
You
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew.
Sorry.
And your family, and I want to keep that alive and going, but as far as your royal anything, your royal is nothing. So he doesn't have enough money. He doesn't get to make enough money now. And that's becoming a problem. And Charles said, you made your bed. Now you got to lie in it. Now that
Right.
mommy's gone, I ain't funneling you the money. So he's living in
Hope
a
to see you
senior.
later, Diana.
He will be, I don't know how much longer, but he has been since 2003, been staying in a senior royal property, one of the castles.
Right.
And it's needing some work, and he doesn't have the money to fix it. It's got a roof leak, some mold, mildew happening, whatever, and it's got to get taken care of. And no, Charles is like, well, you can't do it. And so even though you signed a contract when grandmama died, so the queen mother, that he could then live in it for the rest of eternity for himself, as king, Charles has the right to rescind that if the person living there doesn't have the money to take care of the property. And that is the case with Andrew. And so he said, you got to get out. And
Oh my
he's
God,
having
he's
a
kicking his brother out.
he's having a complete fit over it. And he still lives with Fergie. And so he doesn't want to not be seen as an important member of the family. And Charles is basically saying, I don't really care. You get to go live at Frogmore, which is the small little cottage that Harry and Meghan used to live in before they had a child.
Right.
And he said, but honestly, I want the Prince and Princess of Wales to live in this house because it's much bigger and they need the offices. And where they live right now is only, a 4-bedroom place, yada, yada, yada. So get out, we'll fix it up, and the Prince and Princess of Wales can live there. And apparently William does want to live in it. So Andrew is basically literally putting his foot down and not leaving out the front door. He's having a temper tantrum over it. And the people around the family, the royal family that is, are saying that things between those two have never been this bad. But Andrew said it's ridiculous of Charles to ask him to move out of a $37 million home. And Charles said, you can't afford it, so it's perfectly acceptable to have you leave. So he's dealing with all this other garbage, and he's supposed to be focusing on his coronation and getting all the people to
Well, he's
Love
not
the
working and he has no income. What's the big deal for him to move into? I mean, these people are like, how many
right, because
bedrooms do you need?
it's demeaning, I guess. It's a lower status, and he
Well, you
just
know what?
thinks,
He should not have been on that plane. I'm sorry.
yeah, multiple times,
Uh, you know, should have
right?
been playing around and buddying with good old Epstein over there and hanging out with little girls, especially when you're freaking married or
Right.
divorced. Whatever who's going on with those two, whatever.
Yeah, they got divorced and then they like were right back together. They've been living together for the last 20 years divorced. Like, what?
Yeah,
But both of their daughters have moved out or married, grown, doing their own thing. So there's really no reason they need this mansion. Fergie doesn't seem to really care.
right,
But Andrew certainly does. And
right.
you remember when Fergie tried to have him offed
No,
and she paid hitmen to kill him?
come on now. Wouldn't she be in jail right now?
Yeah, you would think, but no, that's not how it ended up happening. And she got caught because it was a sting operation. And I don't remember how exactly she didn't end up, in jail. But years ago, and she ended up doing her interview with Oprah and explaining how it happened and what was going on for her. I think that she knew what he was up to, and that's why she wanted him offed.
I don't know anything
I
about
think that
that.
would be a very good reason if you're very much against that. That's my guess.
I don't want. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that because I don't know anything about it.
It just would make some sense. Just saying.
I think I'd believe more that the fake queen cohort, and
Oh,
I say
don't
cohort,
even get
would be behind
started on
the
that.
Diana killing than that. You know?
I don't know how it would ever come out, or if it would, but what kind of proof it would be. But there comes a day that the proof comes out that Camilla was the one that offed Diana.
Oh
Oh,
my God. The
that's
UK is going to lose it.
right.
Everybody will. The world will.
And like the reporters will swarm upon Harry. Be
Oh my gosh.
like, is this what you've been so busy about?
You know, you just had to, sometimes you just get that gut feeling about something, you know?
Yeah.
And
And they've proved that she did go to the reporters a lot and the paparazzi a lot, spill secrets.
are you eating?
So, hmm,
What are you eating?
I just swallowed something.
Okay.
I needed a sipping.
Let's hear the smacking. Smack, smack, smack. Hi, Joyce. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Dang. So, is there anything else in the news that's like? Is there anything positive in the news? That's what I want to know.
Oh, positive.
There's never anything positive in the news,
Well, not really, no. But I mean, there's
right, Sushi?
did you hear about the horrible stepmom on Long Island
Oh God.
who had her killed her stepson because he was autistic and annoying her? So she had him stay out in the freezing cold garage and he died.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So
That's
there's that. She got to go to court and the judge said, "You deserve to die, but we're going to give you 25 years to life."
wow. Would she admit to like just putting him out there? What is it like some type of punishment or something? How long was he out there for?
Yeah. So he actually had a brother and she put both of the brother out there as well. And she's 45 years old. She has no record. It was no previous crazy anything. And it was one of those like Arctic January nights, well below negative numbers type of thing.
Right.
And made
Hey,
them stay
Kimberly.
in the garage and they froze to death. And they said that at the time of his death, his body temperature fell to 76 degrees.
Oh my God.
but he had a lot of other issues that they noticed, like head injury, sunken hips. He didn't have body fat. He had big chunks of hair missing. So um, the father did go to jail as well, but he went to jail last year because I guess he just allowed it to happen. This was in Suffolk County, by the way, in Long Island.
Jesus.
And yeah, I mean, it was like a nice looking home, um, typical looking family type of a thing. And they actually had video of the boys shivering on the cement of the garage floor, because she just did not allow them to have any nice things around them. They had to, like, she was just trying to be abusive.
Wow. She did it to her stepson and her own brother?
No, there was two of them.
Oh. Wow.
But the mom tried to get help. I'm not sure of what the whole arrangement there was, but yeah, um
Wow.
that was just disgusting. And it took the jury less than a day to say guilty, send her away forever.
Jesus.
I
Well,
mean,
good
you
she's
ask
going
him,
away.
right? You're like, well, yeah, at least some people are getting what they deserve out there, but geez Louise.
I know. It's like, God, what is wrong with these people?
Okay, want some positive news?
Yeah, please.
Okay,
I
so
know,
there's a,
but before you do that, there is something that is pretty sad that I was gonna mention, but I think I'm gonna wait for Robbie because Robbie said he's gonna come on tonight. Um, I'm gonna wait for Robbie because Robbie knows more about it than I do. We mentioned it. I was live on Rosie's live last night, and it was mentioned there, and it's really sad. But I'll wait for Robbie. But go ahead with some positive news for now.
okay.
You say, sorry, I'm just gonna wait because he knows more about it. It's just we need to get
So
people involved in it. That's why. So, go ahead.
there's a missing Texas woman. She was actually found alive
Wow. Okay.
last week in a Jeep that plunged into a lake and was submerged.
And she was found alive.
Yeah,
Wow. Well,
isn't
that's
that
good.
something? A
Yeah.
fisherman was like, there seems to be a bit of a car sticking out here.
How is she
And
alive?
so the police
I mean,
arrived.
it's awesome that she is, but how did she make it?
Um, they they don't really specify that, but her condition is unknown at this point. That they haven't said anything. They haven't really given a lot of details once they found her, but they think that she just accidentally rolled the Jeep into the lake.
Right.
And they don't, again, say specifically like how long she was in there, but a little while, not terribly long.
Right.
Yeah. And the
Didn't you
fisherman
say she was in there for a week?
she'd been gone miss last week.
Oh, missing for a week. Oh my god. I'm thinking she was in there for a week. I'm like, how on earth is she alive? That's what I was thinking the way you first said it. I'm like, huh? Wait a minute. How is this possible? Okay. I'm like, never mind.
You're funny.
Yeah, I am.
Um, so if you ever been on the subway in New York,
Yes. Duh.
well, they have new machines now.
Mm.
They are the snitch bots.
Snitch bots.
Hmm.
And what are those?
Well, that's what I thought. I'm like, what is this? Some kind of robot that's going to snitch on people?
Right?
Kind of, yeah. The NYPD is rolling out several crime fighting robots called snitch bots that will be at Times Square and other city subway exits. It's
A snitch bot.
sort of like the Terminator, you know?
And what is
Yeah.
this thing gonna do?
But they say don't be afraid of the technology. because they need to use it now to keep cities safe. And they don't want anybody doing anything harmful in New York City. So they're these like four-legged digidogs, which cost nearly like $1 million. So it's basically an AI security dog robot.
Right.
And so it'll detect people that are doing things that are there during like the restricted hours, stuff like that. And it has a license plate reader, and it's
A
basically
license plate reader in the subway.
well, it can go out onto the street as well.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, it'll be rolling around. And they're testing it out because they feel like it's a good way to safeguard their city with,
And what
patrolling
happens
the
if something
lesser.
malfunctions and like all of a sudden this thing goes and chases a lady down the street?
Well, it can only go so fast.
Oh, okay, so that's gonna help a lot.
It can only go 3 miles an hour.
What's it gonna do? Stop barking at something when it's bad?
Well, it's going to basically like give warnings. It's going to record whoever is doing whatever is wrong, that type of thing.
So it's a moving camera then, basically.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. You know,
Alert! Alert! Alert!
it's
Alert!
for like helping to secure the areas that are big and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure how.
All I know is not that I follow him either, but all I know is he said this is the worst possible thing ever. Once it goes AI, we're in trouble. Something.
Oh, Twitter boy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean,
because
I'm
these
not.
AI things are trying to get him to act as human, and they don't have any emotion. There's no, you know, there's no feelings there. You know.
Right. So people could
And
be more violent on it because it's not a person per se.
right, right.
But then it frees up the time and the human ability to go do more important things. So I don't know. But in addition to the robots, NYPD will be equipped with Star Chase, which is a GPS device that allows cops to affix the tech to a car and track it remotely.
Okay.
So that's something that we don't have to worry about, like if somebody wants to steal it.
Yeah, well, that's good. That'll work very well in Manhattan because everybody's always parking their cars, and
I know. I'm just like, well,
that's
it's it's
that's
po-
the
it's
that's the main
positive.
method of transportation in New York.
It's positive, not so horrific news, I
I
guess.
guess.
I mean, okay, here's some. So there's a very handsome young man.
Mhm.
His name's Jake. Last name
Okay.
Bon Jovi.
Oh my goodness. Okay, he is cute.
Isn't
I have to
he?
say, yeah, he is cute.
He's a good-looking dude. He's
Yeah.
like one of
Now it
the.
makes me feel old when I say that because he's a very good-looking kid. He's better looking than his father was.
Isn't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown is officially off the market because they got engaged.
Really?
Yep.
And what does he have to offer her? The looks and his dad's money? Just just a glass of wine? I don't know.
I mean, I
Sorry, I was just wondering, what does he do? I mean, is he just good looking?
I mean, if you've seen his face, I mean, that might be enough. I mean, God,
Yeah.
look at him. But now they're young. They're
Yeah.
only 20 and 19.
Yeah.
So,
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wasn't this Millie Bobby Brown person with Harry Styles a week ago?
no, she's been with him for 2 years.
Okay.
But she's on Stranger
So
Things,
that's
I guess.
that's that's not the girl that was with Harry Styles recently, that they were in some parking garage or something making out.
No,
That's not
no,
her? Okay. I don't
no.
know a lot of who these young people. I should know, but I haven't paid attention in about 2 years, so I don't know who these young men are.
Well, apparently he's an actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like his dad was?
And he went to Syracuse University.
Okay.
Um, so I guess he still sort of goes there. Um, but yeah, he gonna maybe get married. I don't know. We'll see.
That's young. Like,
Yeah, it my opinion it's way too young, but
well, his parents have been together since high school, so
right. So it's a
I mean,
hard argument when your
yeah,
parents and then your parents
yeah,
made it. And then on
yeah.
top of it, he was like a rock star.
Tommy
So
used to work on the dock. Sorry.
yeah,
Union bid on strikes. Sorry.
you know. And I know that they do like the wine thing and they do
Yeah.
foundations and
That's not him.
they
That's the older brother.
do stuff. No, well, John Bon Jovi with his sons, I'm saying.
Right, with his sons.
Yeah. I don't know about what the daughter does. There's a daughter in there somewhere.
Yeah. I just
But
remember thinking of all the girls that were so in love with him and how this girl Dorothea had him the whole time.
oh yeah, and
Yeah,
like you didn't really know.
yeah, you weren't sure. Well, because back then they kept things private, like they used to. Okay, if someone was married or had a girlfriend, they wouldn't tell the press. They wouldn't tell anybody. These guys are single. Why? Because they're pinup stars. These girls are going to buy the records. They're going to buy the albums. They're going to buy the magazines. They're going to buy their posters. You had to keep them single so that they looked like they were, attainable. People can dream about, meeting them one day and having them. So they used to keep those things a secret, you know. Not
Hmm.
to mention the guys probably loved it because half those musicians cheated on their girlfriends anyway. But
Right.
you know, but they all did that. They kept all their personal info. And I remember one of the first ones to come out to get married, and he had no choice, was when Tommy Lee married Heather Locklear.
Oh God, that
And
was
I was like,
forever ago.
oh, that was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, really? Wow, crush. Richie's coming back, what, to Bon Jovi? I have to say, there was, when you scroll through YouTube, you have your use feed. Yeah, I guess it would be a use feed. Anyway, um, a news feed or whatever it is, and they have videos and they show you like the aging faces of celebrities, and
Oh
they
yeah.
had one of John, and he's like the only one I ever clicked on. So I clicked on, and I'm watching all these old. I'm like, dang, he was a good looking guy, man, and he still is. But it's like once he started graying, it's like, oh man, he just should have kept putting blonde in his hair, Kept
Yeah.
putting the blonde in because he went gray way too fast. Way too fast. I
He
still
would
think he
look
shouldn't be
young
gray.
if he dyed his hair.
Yeah, I still think he should dye his hair.
Absolutely.
You know, I think because he still looks good and he sounds okay. When he's live and everything, he still sounds okay. You may not have liked Bon Jovi, because they were too, popular or too mainstream music, but their tunes were always very catchy. He's a very good songwriter, and him and Richie together were great. So they had great tunes that last a lifetime, really. And they had songs that you could always like remember where you were when they came out, you know. And
Yeah.
so
I mean,
people
you
would make
weren't
fun of
talking
Bon
to
Jovi.
me there with not liking the John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, well, my friend Vicky, oh my God, I'll never forget. We went to, I remember when Bon Jovi opened up for Rat, okay? And she went to the concert and she was wearing the same blue leopard jeans that he was wearing. And it was general admission, so she was crushed up in the front of the stage because she's so small. And the security guard lifted her up, and as he did that, John Bon Jovi like messed her hair up with his hand, and she almost had like a heart attack.
Oh my
And,
God, I would have too.
yeah, she was just like, oh my god, and then so she was down. He put her down or whatever, and then John took his towel and threw it around her neck, right, like a sweat towel.
Ugh.
She still has that towel. Well, as I think I talked to her last 3 years ago. She still has that towel.
Well, of course.
Yeah. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? She said she told her daughter the story, and her daughter's like, ew, gross. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
not
you have no idea how important that towel was. She, she, I lost her, and she ends up walking home from the Coliseum, which, as you know, where we grew up, it's not that far. But I mean, it was far, but it wasn't that far. It wasn't crazy, right? She walked home sweating her butt off, towel around her neck, and had like slept with it for days. For days. I'm like,
right.
now that's a little bit obsessive. But she lost her mind that day. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I totally would have been just beyond. I
You
would
know,
have-
I never got like that. Well, okay, that'd be a lie, but you wouldn't. No one would really understand if I said who I got like that over because no one would probably know who he is. Um, but when okay, one of the first things I ever did was I ran a nightclub, right? And we kind of reopened the nightclub. And when we did that, we had a line like down the block. I mean, it was insane. It was like a half a mile long
right.
because this club was like as big as a roller skating rink. It held 5,000 people. We had like Guns N' Roses there, Poison. Um, it was just huge. And anyhow, my point to that was shoot.
The handsome person you liked.
What? Oh, okay, yeah. So we got a phone call. Someone called and said that Tony Harnell from TNT, and I loved TNT. Okay,
Oh God, yes.
yeah, and so Tony wanted to be on the guest list, and I said, "Go ahead, put him on the guest list." And I'm like, "Dang, Tony's gonna show up tonight, right?" So I was all excited about it. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And he had killer hair. I mean, his hair was as long as mine, all blonde and curly, right? It was awesome. I was like, I gotta meet Tony." And I told the stage man, I said, "Dude," I said, "when he shows up, you bring him back to my office." Like, I don't know, it was crazy that night, right? I don't know, it might have been like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning or something. He's like, "Did you meet Tony?" And I said, "No," because I sent them back there. I'm like, "Tony Arnell was here." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I got so upset. So I never saw him that night, but the band, I'm starting to lose my voice again. The band that played was a band called Monroe. And they were playing, this was a Friday night, they were playing again at the Cat Club in Manhattan on Wednesday, because Wednesday nights was the Cat Club. So I was like, all right. I'm like, well, Monroe's like, how'd you like our set? And I'm like, I kind of like I lied a little bit. I'm like, yeah, that's good, yeah, whatever. And meanwhile, I missed it because there was just so much going on. And so I went to the Cat Club that Wednesday night, and I walk in, and because of where I was and who was there, people walking around, I'm seeing everybody from that Friday night before, and all of a sudden it just dawns on me. I'm like, man, I still can't believe Tony Harnell was at the freaking club, and I didn't get to see him. With that, I turn my head, and who is standing behind me?
Oh my God, really?
Really? And I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, I have got to introduce myself to this guy. So I did. And that's the first time I was ever like really gaga. I mean, I remember leaving the cat club going, oh my God, I cannot believe I just met Tony Harnell. I cannot believe it. And it was no big deal. And he was like super cool. He was like, he bought me a glass of wine or whatever. And I'm like, holy shit. I thought he has an amazing voice. I don't know if anybody likes TNT, but that was like the first. I was young. I was really young. And this is before I even went out to LA. But like from that point forward, I mean, you had Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons from Kiss there at the same time. I didn't care. It was Tony Harnell. I was just like, oh my god. But then after that, it was like I started working with so many musicians that it was just like, I don't know why I'm like ever went gaga over Tony, you know. But about 10 years ago, I had Tony calling my house because we were going to have him do this overseas event
Hmm.
with TNT, and they were going to start it in Norway because that's where the rest of the band's from. And he had been in and out of TNT actually, and we were going to do this "Time Is Now" thing, and it had something to do with bringing peace to the Middle East. It never came through, obviously, but it was just an event to like bring awareness. But it was going to be an overseas thing, And so I had Tony. He ended up being like one of the national ambassadors for it. That I brought him into it, and it was just weird. Like my phone's ringing, and it's like Tony. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, if you only knew, dude. You know, if you can only remember, because Lord knows you don't. But way back when, 1985, you know, it's like I did. I was like, oh my god. But I've been met so many musicians and stuff since then, and it was just crazy. It was like a kid thing to me, I guess. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you were with, your own beaux, so you didn't get silly over other
Mm-mm.
folks.
No, I didn't get crazy, but I still was like, oh my god, I cannot believe I just met Tony.
Now,
And
I
if you're
think
out there,
you
Tony,
maybe met
listening, what?
Ozzy or something.
I did meet Ozzy, but I didn't go gago. That is several times. I worked with him and Sharon when I did the Randy Rhoads thing.
Yeah, with what was his name? The other guy that,
Rudy Sardo.
yeah, him.
Yeah, that was an
He seems like a
amazing.
nice guy.
Rudy is awesome. Rudy is an amazing guy, and he's got such a cool story to tell because he's from Cuba, and his family came here. You know, and how his family came over to the United States is a pretty interesting story. And how he grew up and how he became a musician is actually pretty cool too. His wife Rebecca is amazing. She's so sweet. They both are great people. And
He's something about him. You just believe him. He gives off the good vibe.
yeah, yeah, he's a very cool guy. Um, but yeah, no, yeah.
But you know what came across my news feed? Speaking of all of this, I thought it was funny.
What?
Was just one of those silly little articles that said, "Do you know what the top 10 glam metal bands were of the 80s?"
Oh my god. Well, according to Robbie, every band was a glam metal band.
Well, yeah, I know, but this is
Crayola
I
kids.
wrote down notes. I took copious notes because I thought I'd never even heard of the one. Number 10
Uh huh.
was the Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
He made it to number 10. God, he shouldn't have even been on that list if there's only 10.
I thought that
Because
was
there's way too many other ones. But go ahead.
number 9 was Skid Row.
Glam. Oh my God. Stop.
Number 8 was Rat.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 7 was Quiet Riot.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 was Warrant.
Uh-huh.
Number 5 was Cinderella.
Uh-huh.
Number 4 was Motley Crue.
Right.
Number 3 was Twisted Sister.
Right. Number one
Number
was Poison.
2 was Bon Jovi.
And one was Poison.
Number 1 was Poison.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
Skid
my
Row
God.
needs to come out of that, though. Skid Row is not really glam. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. Skid Row is not glam.
Well,
And Vinnie Vincent, they could have put like Shotgun Messiah in there, or maybe Bullet Boys over Skid Row, but not. Yeah, no. Winger, hello.
yeah,
They would have
Wing.
been called glam, even though. And I have to say, Winger is a great band, extremely talented guys.
What
They
about White
looked.
Snake?
They looked. Well, yeah, I guess. But Whitesnake didn't start off that way. Whitesnake was not a glam band. They turned glammy when they were all dressed up with their 1987 album.
Glammy.
Yeah, they got all pretty with makeup and curly
Yeah,
hair
the
and
makeup is what's weird to me. It was like, why they all have
yeah, but
makeup?
their makeup was like just to enhance their features. You had Poison purposely putting on makeup, Motley Crue purposely putting on
Oh
makeup
yeah,
to look
they did like
crazy.
the high blush, pink
Yeah,
cheeks
yeah.
and stuff, and the
Yeah,
blue
that's different. But
eyeshadow.
you had other bands like LA Guns, which is they tried to look more gothic, but they ended up being glam. A lot of glam back then and was gothic in a sense, or had that gothic look to it. Um, Good God, this reminds me of my friend Tori. But yeah. See, I don't look at Whitesnake as glam only because I knew of Whitesnake before that album. You know, with John Sykes in the band and stuff, and John Sykes actually is on the album, but um, they got like pretty. You know,
They got
they
pretty.
got pretty. As a matter of fact, if you look at the "Is This Love" video, my hair color is the same as Tawny's and Rudy's because I got their I love the color of their hair, and I asked Rudy who did his hair, and he gave me the girl's name, and I spoke with her, and she told me what colors she used, and I've been using them ever since. So it's still the same color. Outrageous cherry and bodacious burgundy.
Oh,
Mix them up, and there you have it.
I see.
Yeah, but yeah, that's weird. But Skid Row was not glam. I'm sorry. Now Robbie will tell you they were. Yeah, because all those bands were. He'll tell you Queensryche was glam. I'm sorry, Queensryche.
Queensryche.
Yeah, Queensryche was not glam.
No, they weren't glam.
You know, Queensryche was not a talk dirty to me band. You know what I mean?
Cece
Yeah.
picked that guitar and it talked to me. Did you see that Ozzy celebrated Easter with
But what about Van Halen? See, I wouldn't consider Van Halen glam either. Ozzy, what?
He had Easter with all of his granddaughters.
That's cool.
Yeah, they had a little brunchy brunch. There was a little picture on Instagram floating around about it. It was just
Oh, look at
sweet.
that. They mentioned Van Halen, and then Sweet Cheeks goes out for ice cream. I want some ice cream. I'm your ice cream man.
Ice
Stop me
cream.
when I'm passing by.
Oh.
Up my neck up, Dixie cup. All flavors and push-ups to I'm your ice cream man.
How do you feel about peel and stick wallpaper?
No. Well, I guess it would have to. It would all depend on what it looks like. But wouldn't it just come off if it was hot and humid? Wouldn't it like eventually just curl up?
That's what I would think. I don't know. But it
Yeah,
is
see,
apparently going like viral. Everybody's rushing out and buying it and putting it everywhere.
that's crazy.
I'm like, I don't
Mm-mm.
know. Does it ruin the wall afterwards? Leave a sticky residue? Like,
Flutter's not leaving us to go fishing yet, is she? Def Leppard, I guess they would be considered glam by some people, but yeah, see, peel and stick wallpaper would be good to line shelves and drawers with. That would work.
right. Yeah. I don't know. It's becoming all the rage again.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not
Flutter,
sure.
you leaving us?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow I fish. Why
Yeah, she's fishing.
not? She's been waiting a long time.
Is
Chocolate
she
chip
ice
cookie
fishing?
dough. I don't know. It's warm there right now, right? Or it's too warm?
I have no idea.
I'm ice cream man. No, it's gonna be stuck in my head.
What's
Dixie
stuck in your.
cat, all flavors and push up. That song from Van Halen, Ice Cream Man. You never heard it?
I probably have. I just, don't really know.
Seriously?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my
Seriously.
God, where's Robbie? Robbie needs to start yelling at you, like
What
screaming.
for?
Because like, duh. What do you mean you don't know the song?
He
Kendra, where
yells.
you been?
I've been in California, you know.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us? All right.
Jack Daniels is on sale, apparently. And
Okay.
there's somebody that's very mad and had a temper tantrum against Jack Daniels and did a video and it went viral.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard I,
It's
I
Van Halen, Tandy. It's on Van Halen.
Gigolo.
Just a gigolo. And everywhere I go, people know the Paul Dave's playing. That's David Lee Roth.
Coca-Cola brings canned Jack Daniels and Coke. They mixed it together in a can. That's a new beverage.
Oh, Wendy's calling you out.
No, and you know what? And there's a whole good old reason for that. What occupied, I don't know, 15 hours of my Saturday? What?
What occupied 15? Oh, you're using that as an excuse?
Dude, we were dressed and ready to go.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I'm like, God, really?
Oh my God. So oh, great. Now I'm going to get blamed for this. No, we're blaming the darkness.
The darkness,
The darkness.
the
What
evil.
homework? Kendra has homework to do.
I have to go to the city to go to look at a store for 20 minutes. And it's like, a lot to get to the city. Honestly, it's a way out there. Go take some pictures of some stuff, some ancient pottery and pictures and tapestry and swords and bowls and whatever is in this little store because Robbie wants to see it.
Yeah, so he's been waiting for her to do this, and it's been raining and raining and stuff, and the weather's just been really bad, and so she hasn't gone yet. So I guess now she's saying she was going to go on Saturday, but
No,
because of
really, yeah,
all the drama, we were
that
live, and we ended up going live for 4 hours, and then we jumped off. We were done, and then someone had to go and just backtrack and do another video. So we went over there to basically, come out of lurking and tell her what a liar she is. And she blocked us. So I said, you know what? Dang it, we're going live again. You don't want to let us talk here? We're going to talk here. And we did. So we were on for another 5 hours.
something insane like that.
We're on until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Tori knows. That's funny. Yeah, that was crazy.
yeah,
That was
kind of.
that was real crazy. I mean, you know, I started this off on Saturday because she really just does not let people's lives go. If you talk to her about if you've ever talked to her about something private, she's announcing it on the air, on her, YouTube air, and then everybody knows about it. We mentioned that she went back after our live, claiming she didn't see our live, but somebody told her. But yet she, said us verbatim, word for word. Okay, and then she started talking about Shadow and things personally about Shadow, which really set me off again. Um, and then just like in denial and denial and denial and saying all this crap. And she's talked about Robbie. She's brought me up. She's saying I'm reversing words. She's saying, no, I'm not. So we were just going, at it kind of. When she was live, she was saying stuff, so I was answering it over here. Um, you know, but we just nipped it in the bud. But that was going to be the end of it on Saturday night, and I'm just tired of it. She's hurting people, and she needed to be stopped. And when you call people out on something, usually they'll stop and turn away. But she's not. She's going one better, and what she's done since then, because I figured there's nothing more she can do. Nobody's talking to her, you know.
Right.
So all she can do is keep going over and repeating the same things over and over and over again. It's like, I'm not going to do a video just because she's repeating it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. She said what she said about Robbie. She said what she said about all these people. We nipped it in the bud. I guess, because I don't really say you want to say you did, Kendra, because you didn't really talk. It was all me, mostly. I don't want you to get called or blamed for anything. It was mostly me. But that's,
It's kind of moot, really, here.
yeah. Um, so, that was basically going to be the end of it, But then,
But
surprise,
then,
surprise, 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 Mr. Jim Jones goes live on his freaking Sunday night thing and says that he gets an email from these people who are so generous, saying, help, help, help me, please. I've donated $17,000 to a gator farm or something to do with gators because gators is out and giraffes are in, and and then he tends to go on about how he's a steward. First of all, if you're a steward or in stewardship or whatever you want to say, you don't talk about it. Okay? But he went on and on and on. And then, it wasn't that long though, but he just kept mentioning the steward. I mean, I think if he said stewardship one more time, it was going to be like, oh my God. You know?
Yeah.
But he went on about it, and you give that guy any reason to attack my friend, he's going to. You feed that guy any kind of drama, he's going to run with it because that's what his channel is all about, drama. I mean, he's bitching about a freaking $15 water bill. Hello? But yet, swears he's got more money than God. You know what I mean? And, and he tells you who to donate to and who not to donate to. Okay? And it's like, you have nerve, dude, saying anything at all. Because you sat there with two of your friends, okay, one who I actually really like, all right, at an airport, talking to your fans, requesting super chats, and which one of you three could get the most super chats so you guys can upgrade on this plane, this flight that you're taking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if anybody knows this, but when you get super chats, first of all, you don't get all of it. YouTube takes a percentage out. You don't get it right then and there. It comes basically like the 20th or the 21st of every month. So depending on when that thing was, is you're not
Right.
going to get it for another month, right?
It's not an instantaneous
But
cash out.
here's the main thing. Here's the main thing. That airline that they were flying doesn't even have first class. There was no upgrading their seats to first class. Okay, so it's like, oh my God, dude, are you serious? And like, I can't even believe he thought he was gonna get away with that, but he did. But here's the even funnier part: they were getting ready to board the plane, so he ended his live. One of the other guys, the one I like, ended his live, but Guapo Kanye was still live, right? And then Jim Jones turns around, and Jim says, "See how easy it is to get people to donate? Tell them anything; they'll send you money."
Tell them anything, they'll send you money.
And then he turns around to Kanye and goes, "Are you still live?" And Kanye goes, "Yeah," with a kind of like a
Kanye.
laugh, because Kanye loves to slip the tongue and like, if there's a secret or something, he's gonna blow it out before anybody else. You can't. That guy can't keep his mouth shut. So, anyhow, he says, "Yeah," and he laughs about it. So Jerry was like, "Yeah, yeah," and he starts to like change it around, like we love our fans or whatever, or something like that. And then Guapo ends alive, and within 15 minutes, that thing is deleted and removed, gone.
Well, because I mean, it would make one look bad if
Well,
somebody
yeah,
saying,
absolutely. But nobody, you would have had to watch that to see that, you know. And then the whole like the reason why he's gonna use anything he can to attack my friend
mm-hmm.
is because of a whole bullshit story about a house that's not even true. They tried to blame him for like reneging on a deer, and poor old little man with the hat, and the glasses,
Yeah.
um, got swindled out of some kind of $5,000. Well, I'm sorry. First of all, you took the $5,000 from him. You're the one who reneged on the deal, not my friend. Okay, and that's proof because if people went and watched the videos, they would see that. Why? Because my friend was live on our channel when he found out what was going on Kanye's channel.
Right. I
Okay,
remember.
and he didn't know, and I looked because I knew about this deal, right? And I said, "Is that the deal still on, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." Like he didn't know. He was getting phone calls like something's happening over there, right? So he said live on our channel that the deal was still going on, but yet Kanye's over there saying the deal's off. And if the deal's off, then you need to pay this guy the money back. But meanwhile, it was kind of like, hang on a second. He was told never to give you the money in the first place because the investors were putting up the money. But this person did it because he didn't want to lose the house, right?
So he jumped the gun,
So he jumped the gun, paid it,
and then
so
that
he
made
kept the
him
deal. Then they
And
pulled out of it. And by the way, the arrangements were only made on May 5th when the guy got there. Little man with the hat, the glasses.
right,
Okay, he got there on May 5th, made the deal within that first 24 hours. By May 14th, they were at Gatorland with Jim Jones egging Kanye on, going, "Hey, where's my money? Where's my money?" So Kanye starts asking my friend, "Where's the money?" And in turn, he says, "Don't you know what escrow is, dude?" Okay, but he didn't want escrow; he wanted cash. But Mr. Jim Jones is also a real estate guy, a real estate guru, and should know all about escrow. This whole thing happened and ended with before the 31st of May.
right.
There wasn't even a 30-day deal. Okay? But they're trying to say that, my friend should have paid back this other guy who's also owed money, but yet when he went live with Kanye that day, he had just left my friend's house, drove 45 minutes to his home, got on a live, and then started getting questioned by Kanye. And
Huh.
if you go back and look at it, you'll see I'm going to do what Jim Jones does and clicked off and signed off because he knew he was getting busted. So that little guy with the hat created all this drama and everybody else kind of ran for it. But if you ask me, the real deal is Jim Jones wanted that house and my friend outbid him.
Hmm.
And that's where all this kind of goes from. But I'm sure Jim Jones got pieces of the house anyway. But
But
what they
why?
did in
Yeah.
return was wrong.
But if Jim Jones has more money than God, why doesn't he just buy it himself?
Because he's cheap. He knows what a deal is. And I shouldn't even say he's cheap. He knows what a deal is and knows what it was worth. There's only certain things that was worth anything in that house. And it
Right.
turns out karma hit it anyway. So, whatever. But what they did and what they try to do and what they keep trying to do by throwing my friend under the bus is 100% wrong. Because they used my friend because this person liked gators and wanted to catch gators and run around with gators. Their favorite thing was gators. And he came down here, used them when he didn't need him no more. He never heard from him. And then when he came back here, he tried to uh, do a whole bunch of things with gators and stuff with other people, and no one would do anything with him. Which is why you haven't seen him in this state doing gator stuff.
Right.
Okay, so it's like then you go this past Sunday on your live and you start talking about somebody emailing you that they donated to my friend $17,000 and please help me.
So let me get this straight. So
And you go into a whole big to do about donations and who they should be donating to. I guess if you skinned your knee, Mr. Jim Jones, that they should be all donating $15 for 2 packs of Band-Aids for you, right? Because you so badly need it. But this person who emailed them is lying. Totally lying. In all her videos, bitching and moaning about this one and that one and crying about this and building castles here and doing that. Never once has this woman even mentioned that number or amount of dollars spent in donation. She said $17,000 was donated. That's
so
a crock of shit.
$17,000.
She told him that $17,000 was donated. And this guy, excuse me, I'm going to call him an idiot for doing this, doesn't even try to verify anything because if he did, he'd see there's a whole slew of people calling her a fraud. Okay? But he goes and gets on his live. And just because it was against my friend, figured he could use it as some kind of drama and something to talk about.
Right.
Okay? And try to throw him under the bus again. Gators are out, giraffes are in. Well, gee, I don't see you with a freaking giraffe, do I?
No.
And then talks about being a steward. I got news for you, dude. For the stuff that you say you do, your actions in this little scenario and what you've done is not becoming of someone who claims to do what you do.
No, it's
Okay?
not stewardship because
No.
there was no research
And I'm
done if that was
sorry.
true or not before
I
there was a
said,
jump the gun moment to put somebody else down.
yeah. And I'm sorry because when this all went down, as you know, I said he was on our live. That thing was not done. They reneged on the deal. I'm sorry. Kanye reneged on the deal. And if someone gave you a deposit for something and you pulled out of the deal, I'm sorry, you give the deposit back. Hello?
Right.
Take it to the court. The judge is going to tell you the same damn thing. And you're trying to say somebody else owes it? No. But does anybody know how you were begging them to give you more cash? No. Does anybody know any of the other little things that went on during that? No. All they know is that you have a hell of a lot of people watching your show and you got a hell of a lot of people believing you. You know? My friend answered this shit once. And he left the video up for 24 hours and took it down because his channel is a family channel and they don't do drama. Okay? And then everybody was kind of left guessing if they didn't see that video, which is fine. You know, I kept neutral publicly. I didn't say anything, and trust me, I wanted to because there's like so many things there that like, hello, did anybody not see this? What is wrong with this? Like, how are they getting away with doing this? But I let it go. I didn't say anything. Okay? But if this is all going to start up again because of that email, when it's a lie, uh-uh.
Well, yeah, and like what was the goal there anyways?
I
What
don't know.
did
I don't know
what
because
did
if she donated $17,000, okay. If you donated 5, 10, 15, $20, or 17,000, whatever, what do you think he's gonna do? He
so
claims
yeah,
he
like
said
what
he.
was he supposed to do about it? Like
I don't know.
that
He claims he told her to get a lawyer or something like that. And I'm laughing. I'm like, yeah, well, she supposedly has 4 lawyers already, you know.
in a DA.
But here's the and a DA and you know indictments coming, so don't even worry about that. She's got that all covered, you know. But it's like, are you kidding me right now? And $17,000, what, in 100 skulls of resin?
Oh god, this is
And
going to
like
be about
five
three hundred
boxes of
dollars of resin
ceramics?
again, and you know,
I'll tell you what, you want to help her out? You can help her out this way. I will pack every box that's left there, which is like 5 or 6 boxes, because I saw them. All right. I was there when they were bringing them in. All right. 5 or 6 boxes of ceramic, and I'm talking like kitchen canister type stuff. Right. And some like I don't know little bells and stuff. It's all ceramic type stuff. I will load him in a car and I will drive him up to his property and I'll leave him right there and he can have them. That's how you can help her, and then you get him to her. Help her that way. You want to
and
help
so
her?
is that her claim that those items are worth $17,000?
I guess there is nothing worth $10,000, $5,000. Nothing. Nothing. She's a lying sack of dough. She's lying. But what? And the funny thing is too, I could probably keep saying this. If you go back a year and watch her videos, you'll see her bashing him, Jim Jones. She hates him,
Yeah, she doesn't like that. So that was a weird maneuver, I gotta say, to go. All of a
but
sudden,
she's
we're
doing
running
it
into
because
the
she wanted to
person we
piss
don't
Robbie
like.
off. Sorry, my friend off. And
Yeah,
it doesn't piss him off because what it is, that whole thing, that whole entire thing, doesn't make him angry. He was disappointed. He was very disappointed. In 2 people, most of all. Really one, but 2. He
yeah,
was very disappointed, you know, and that's what's sad, you know. And I will again say, my friend Robbie is the one of the most real people you will ever see on YouTube. And I cannot say that at all for the other channels that were involved in that drama.
right.
I
You just
cannot.
don't.
And I'm not going to sit quiet if they're going to start attacking him again. That's not going to happen. Not this time. Because I'll pull my videos out and I'll point out and I'll show you. And by the way, it was the man with the hat and the glasses that reminded everybody about the airline and the upgrade and the donation and the video of that. Just saying. It was that man who sat there telling me what, let me say, 3 days before this happened when he went on Kanye's live,
Hmm.
all about how he got screwed over the last time they were up at the camp or whatever he's calling it.
So
Yeah.
let me get
So
this.
the little man with the hat and the glasses is the
Yes.
one that basically was, trying to be popular with this one and still hanging with this one or whatever, like playing both sides, and then got caught up in it. And then Big Mouth Kanye says something that was told to him in private live on the air, and that's why that guy got off, the guy with the hat got off, okay, and got jumped off the live. But meanwhile, he's basically two-faced to both of them. And anybody like seeing all the scenarios could just look at that and see it. You didn't see it at the time, but after seeing everything that's gone on, like, oh my God, he's the one in between it all. Because
Yeah.
trust me, 3 days beforehand, he was going off on Jim Jones to me. Jim Jones and Kanye, he had to drive Kanye to the airport. I mean, trust me, he was going off on all of them. And then 4 days later, was going against my friend on Kanye's live. When he went on the live though, I don't think he knew that was going to happen. But Kanye's got a big mouth and said something that he said to him privately and said something there. And he jumped off the live. And then from there, it was like, that's probably why you weren't seeing him in a long time, because he really didn't know how to be taken. But, Jim Jones fixed that because he tried to make my friend look like the bad guy the whole time.
What I don't understand is, why did anybody have to go out of their way and become a preacher on the mount there and give a whole sermon and whatnot?
Oh, yeah, that was funny too, all the
and
sermons.
take anybody down for? Like, I don't get what was the need to do that for. I don't.
Because it's drama.
Right. I mean, because it wasn't really affecting him in any of it.
No, not at all.
I don't.
It's drama. It's something to talk about, to get people talking. It's, and it's just really sad that he did that, because in all honesty, the viewers saw something great. They enjoyed all the channels together.
Right, sure.
And he went and ruined that. And I think he ruined it simply because he got bid out.
Well, I mean, I guess that was his choice to get bid out. He could have always bid more. I mean, I don't know what really that part of that story really was, but
I mean, that's the only thing that can be seen. Like, why was he so edgy anyway? Why is he egging Kanye on the whole time? Why?
Well, like the Kardashians, Kanye can be our fall guy.
Well, you know what? And then there you have that too, because you got this one that's Kanye himself says one thing here and one thing there. He acts like he knows how to fix something, like, I don't know, a battery in his truck. I don't know, but doesn't even know what kind of truck he's got to go and get a new bat. I mean, it's like, hello, how old are we? Do you not know how to like change a battery in your car right now? You're a guy. Like, I don't know. I don't get this. I don't know. I'm sorry. If you bring your battery into a store to fix your car or your truck or your van or whatever it is, and they're asking you what kind of car it is, you kind of should know.
Well, and
or turn around and say, "Can you just give me the same exact battery I have?" That's simple, But I don't know. There's just really crazy stuff, and so if you want to sit there and judge, it's okay to be loyal, but just because you're loyal, because someone made a comment earlier, and it's okay to be loyal to someone, but just because you're loyal to them, it doesn't mean that they're right. You know what I mean?
True. That's very true.
It doesn't mean that they're right. And no one's perfect. But what's going on here, and trying to use someone who already doesn't like my friend to go against him and start bashing him again in the slightest way is uncalled for. But Jim Jones over there should be doing his research before he goes and gets on live and starts trying to do that.
Now, I got a question.
Yeah.
$17,000 was donated to the farm. Okay.
Absolutely not. In all these videos, she has never even mentioned that number. Go ahead.
Right. But that's sort of not the point here. The word is donate. And last I remember, when you donate your time, your money, or maybe some of your items, whatever value they may be, donate means you give it away for free. You smile, you wave, you say thank you, goodbye, you're welcome, whatever.
You expect nothing in return.
Nothing in return. Exactly. You don't get a thing or
Well,
an
this
activity.
woman thinks she's owed that she was gonna get. I don't know if it's popularity, subscribers. I have no idea. But now she's trying to like get in over there, and I'm thinking, honestly, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, good luck.
And that's what I'm like lost
Oh,
with. I
good
don't
luck.
get it. You're gonna get mad or sue
If
or
you
call
think
the
you're gonna get
cops
the
or
time of day
whatever
over there,
over a donation. You
yeah,
you can't. It's a donation.
yeah, they're just gonna take your donations and run with it. But she did not donate that. Okay. Oh my god. In fact, donations were given to her to give to him, and she kept them for herself. So, and he never even knew anything about that. So,
Right. And then that was exactly what we saw receipts of that whole adventure because there
if
are
she just did a
receipts.
rough total of everything sent and gifted, it's still not 17K. It's not even 5K, Stacy. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what how and why it's been a
Yeah.
year almost since that whole debacle, right? With the
Yeah.
so when this Jim Jones is up on his top of his mountain there,
Right.
why does it matter to even say anything for him?
Because it's drama. It's drama.
Okay.
That's what he does.
So, huh. I'm not to be rude to all of these people because, great entertainment with all of them, but I don't
Oh,
know.
trust me, I liked his
This was
stuff
the best
before.
drama they could come up with. I mean, I
Well,
guess what do you want
it
when you have
used
a
to be
bunch of
entertaining. Really, he used to be entertaining, and I liked his job. As a matter of fact, I was inspired by him. So, you know,
you drank
but
the Kool-Aid?
no, no,
Oh,
no, 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 no.
you
When I
drank the
started
Kool-Aid?
watching him, I was inspired to pick up Tuli's and keep and make it start moving forward. Okay, and there's he's not. How do I say this? um, there came a point. It's kind of like when you see who people really are, you can't unsee it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what happened with me. You know, I kind of saw who he really was. Like he sat there in one of his videos saying, "You don't know YouTubers. You don't know YouTubers," over and over again. And trust me, he meant it. Okay, because you don't know him. You know, and it's kind of like it, he could show you how many light switches he has in his house, but he's not showing you every.
Who gives a shit about that?
Did you see? Oh, God, that's like I can't even believe it's an hour long video. But I just got anyhow. But it's like the drama. Like they have to create something, right? And
Right.
I don't know why he actually has a problem with my friend and what he's doing,
Mhm.
because maybe it's because my friend don't have to. My friend has the animals, and it's all about animals and education and all that. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't have to create drama for it. Any kind of drama that happens on my friend's channel is a gator call. You know what I mean?
That's a different kind of drama.
It's different, right? It's real. It's you know what I mean. So it's like this guy is like over here in hiding, creating all these little scenarios and stuff, and that's fine. There's TV shows that do that all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you see how people are and treat other people online, offline, like what's the meaning of trying to ruin someone? What was the reason to try and ruin someone?
Right. I mean, that would my
He
guess
tried
is that you're jealous.
in some way. I'm guessing he is, and that'll never come out of his mouth. But when you try to ruin someone who's trying to do what he's doing and raise money for his farm and whatever like that, you're ruining what his him and his family are doing. Their livelihood, their kids are involved. That like You don't realize how deep, and it's none of your business how deep it goes, but you're trying to ruin not just him, you're ruining it, like, you know what I mean? It just goes deeper
Right.
than that. And I'm sorry, but you're wrong. For what? What is it for?
Yeah,
It's not
I
like
don't
you're
know.
trying
I
to get
don't.
subs from him. You're not trying to get subs from him. You're not trying to do, you know what I mean? This is ridiculous.
I
You know?
mean, there's something that could be said for, I'm sure, a lot of hard work and research and practice and videos that went viral and videos that failed and bringing people on and going places and just all the things to try to get to this huge, massive account that you've got as a YouTuber with a huge following, and you try to do some good out there in the world. And it was a lot of work to get to
Mm-hmm.
where you're at. And then
Yep.
you may maybe meet somebody else and they're kind of half-ass, sort of willy-nilly doing it a little bit, and you kind of see their presence and what they're capable of, and that if they put their full all in like you had to, they would far surpass you, and that might be
Mm-hmm.
a scary thought. But that's not their thing. They don't want to be a YouTuber. That's not their goal. That's not their passion.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do it ever. So really, there was nothing to worry about.
Yeah, so I just don't understand it. I don't understand why it happened, but what I can tell you is the way they made it look is not what happened. Kendra, you were there on the live. That deal was still going on that night, while the other
Right.
one on another channel was saying it was not. And Kanye pulled out of the deal. And then they tried to make him look bad by not giving back the little man with the glasses, 5 grand. And no, I'm sorry. Here's the deal, guys. You put a deposit down on something, and the other person that you paid the deposit to pulls out of the deal, they are to give you your money back. Had you pulled out of the deal, it would have been a totally different story. What's in the contract? What's in the verbal thing? You know what I mean? But he pulled out of the deal, and he should have given you the money back. And that's the end of it, the period, because the judge will say the same exact thing. You know?
Right.
But I'm sorry, you have people investing in something that aren't just going to turn around and hand you, Kanye, cash, that kind of cash, out of nowhere without like doing some kind of research on you, the house, the property. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen like that. It's not a storage unit. Maybe to you it is, and the people you're hanging around with, but the people who are investing, no. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. And I'm sorry, Kanye is greedy. That's
Well,
the
didn't it, there was like a lot of bills to be paid or something at that time too. There was a lot
Oh,
of
there were bills to be
uh,
paid. Oh my god. Oh god, man. I could just say so many things. He was down here with a friend of his, and the iPads that he gives away.
yeah.
They came right off the truck of the Amazon distribution center because his friend works there. So whoever got an iPad, I don't know, man. I'd be careful with that. They know those numbers, or whatever. But there's, it's just really messed up. You know, there's one person in that community that I genuinely like, and well, actually, two. I like Christian and Patience. I'm really happy for them because I know that Patience is pregnant. Um, but there's one person I actually genuinely like there, and this I've met so many people because I started watching them, you know, and I'm not going to name names, but there's a great bunch of people that came out of that, and there's a lot of people here that know of them. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that everybody's a part of it. I just hope people have open minds and can just see things for themselves. And the only reason why I'm even discussing this right now is because of that live. And I really hope that they're going to let that go, or better yet, research that email you got, because you're going to find it to be nothing but a lie, you know? And there's 5 boxes sitting at Robbie's house with ceramics in them. Okay? There was
That are not
7.
worth $17,000.
Yeah. There was 7 uh, dragon heads made, and tops 100 skulls. There was a lot of skulls. But the skulls were not purposely made for him. They were made for somebody else who didn't actually fulfill an order that she believed that was. That's what I think. I'm giving her the credit of thinking that this person was going to pay for an order when, I would have thought it was BS anyway. But she made them. Okay, so she gave them to Robbie. Okay, to donate them.
So hold
That's
on.
it. That's it. There's nothing else. She
She
then
made
went. She may
something
have
for
given him money
somebody that
though.
never.
Hang on. Sorry. She may have given him money, but it's money that she bid. It's not donations per se. She bought stuff in the auctions and had a long-standing credit that she didn't pay off. But when all these lies came and she kept calling him greedy and everything, um, she turned around and said she's not paying him nothing. So I don't know where the $17,000 comes from at all. In all of her videos attacking everybody, including him, she has never once said $17,000 about anything. You
No,
know?
that was brand new
Yeah,
information.
totally brand new. Totally brand new. I was like, what? Are you kidding me right now? 17. And then all she did was give him something to run off of. And there you go. So basically, he took the bait and ran with it. Good move, Barbara. Good move.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that everybody asked nicely to please leave each other's rooms
Right.
and not be mean and stop it, but nobody can ever stop it, and so it doesn't stop, it doesn't end.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I know that her and this other person, I'm not going to mention her name again, but they go head to head constantly all the time. And this other person has been meaning to call her out on all this stuff all along. And she has. But it's still going back and forth, still going back and forth. But when you mention me, that's when I'm going to come in and say something. But I only said something when it was like, all right, this one, that one, this one, that one, then Robbie. It was kind of like, okay, now I'm going to say something. You know what I mean? You could say something about me, I don't care. But when you're going to attack everybody in this community and then you're also like defrauding people out of money and then you're lying about money you actually gave, it's kind of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know? We have like an adult channel here. His is a family channel. I will say something, I don't care. You know what I mean? This doesn't
Yeah.
need to be brought up on his channel, you know? And it's like, we'll say something here, but as soon as we did, she comes back with another one. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, so tonight, guys, this is it. I'm not discussing this anymore. Now, if there happens to be a Jim Jones freaking problem because of this, well, then he's an idiot because, like I said, he needs to go back and read the email and just not run off of, idle crap that someone sends him. Figure out who it is that sent it to you, what it's all about before you start trying to attack somebody again. Okay?
In fellow good stewardship, we recommend doing a little bit of background research first, because this is a situation that the egg is on your face now because it's erroneous information. So we just wouldn't want you to be looking bad or anything, talking bad or anything. We don't do that. We spew the light over here. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we want to send positive vibes out to everybody and everything, but like, we got to get rid of the negative crap. And, um, yeah, that's what this is doing. This is not an attack on anybody, okay? But I am going to stand up and stick up for my friend when it comes to that scenario because I didn't before. And I knew it was wrong before and I didn't say a word because I was asked not to, okay? But I'm not going to let it start up again without saying anything. I'm sorry. I'm not going to. Um,
It's easier to remember the truth because it's
mm-hmm,
true and it happened. It's hard to remember all the lies and the who knows the
mm-hmm,
whats. And, if you point the finger at someone, just remember that there's four fingers pointing right back at you.
right. And
So
this time, they will be. I don't know what else to say about it. And, just I'd say I would leave that alone because that's a whole nother ball of wax. You know, um, she's lying. And I know I wasn't going to say that, Scott, but yes, I know. Um, uh, if she's lying, and if you're going to feed off those lies, then you're going to have to be told the truth. And this is how you're getting told the truth. Go and research the email and the people who sent you that email before you start with another load of crap. Okay, and uh, and yeah, all I can do is, guys, research it yourself. The videos are out there. Go back to that time and watch, and you'll see how it went down. You just gotta pay attention. But pay attention to the little details, and you'll see that there's no way in hell that he reneged from that deal. You know, uh, but that's where all that started. That's why I brought that up, because it was all 100% wrong. None of that should have happened. No one should have been backstabbed. Nobody should have been talking about this other crap with this woman. Is just nonsense. Okay, but she's hurting other people in the community. These three hurt each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is why that just needed to go that way. But this other woman needs to be stopped because she's hurting people in the community. You know? And I'm
There,
not going to go there with her anymore. And
there's
there's nothing more that can be done. She can't
no.
say anything more. Sorry, Kendra. Every time you say something, I just hear myself going over you.
There's really no more to be said. There's just no more to
Yeah.
be done.
She's
And
just repeating now, so it's like whatever.
Just let's all
Get
act.
rid of the negative, into the positive. As a matter of fact, I think Kenji, you have something to tell us about that,
Do
right?
I?
Yeah,
Well,
because that person's like some kind of shaman or something. But you got one better. God,
we all need to be careful about you know who we
that's
mess
right,
around
Daddy.
with,
That's right.
because
That is absolutely right. She did not donate that amount. All his viewers did for new animal cages, and I just want to point something out to you in regards to these animal cages and the length of time that it's taken. Okay, remember we were in COVID. Lumber was hard to get. Lumber was also very expensive. Also, there is three of them who are working the farm every day. And there are schedules for animals that need to be fed and things that need to be done every day. Okay, so it's in between those times that the three of them are having to build on the farm and also get volunteers to come and help. And we have some great volunteers that go there, and it's fabulous, but it does take some time, and maybe it's taking a little extra time. But you've all watched the videos, you've seen why. So if you have any questions about that, you could always ask Robbie. But I'm pretty sure you could just figure out it's just time. But it's working, it's getting up, things are getting done, guys. So I just wanted to, touch on that because I saw that comment. But go ahead, Ken. Sorry. I'd be kind of doing that all night to you now, but go ahead.
it's not the first night.
Yeah, well,
It's not brand new.
Hello, I'm your cousin.
I'm waiting
for
for
how
Ding
long?
Dong any second now.
Ding dong. I know. The second she starts talking, Robbie's going to come in and get her.
I know. That's why I'm like, do I have to share anything? I don't really have nothing to say.
Hurry up, keep talking.
How about that? Be careful who you mess around with, because you don't know who people know. Just saying.
That's right. That's
Just
right.
saying. Because let's just say sometimes you don't want to fuck around and find out.
There you go.
There's a lot of conversation about who is spiritual and who is psychic and who's a medium and who can do witchcraft, wizardry, voodoo, juju, moo,
Yep,
whatever.
true.
And whatever you believe you can do, great. But when you just say the words and you don't make sense and you're not really doing anything or any of it, just don't say anything. Just don't pretend with that arena, because it's real and true for many people. And I used to work in social work, and I had a very close friend, and we had coincidentally a Zoom call just to chat, say hi, catch up type of a thing.
Knock, knock.
See?
We told you, here he is.
See?
What?
Hello.
Hello, hello,
Hey.
hello, hello. What is going on?
Have just finished a little bit of, and then we're gonna get into some good stuff. So you're gonna have to. Who's
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Is that
Zoe's just
Scott
asking me.
sleeping?
Yeah, that's Scott sound asleep. He said Zoe always sleeps. I got proof right there.
Busted. Scooter
Mm,
sleeping.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Sweet Cheeks, Lisa Ann, Beth, Dottie, Flutterio, Bam, Wendy, Mimi, Tandy, Sandra, Sue Davenport, Hale. How you doing, sweetheart? Carolyn, Scott Roberts, um,
So
Peggy, hi, honey, Stacy, Tandy, um, John Wilson, Kathy Wood. Oh my goodness, Kimberly Chess. Hi everybody, love you all. Sean G. About time. Wow, Kathy Wood, Tori. Hi, honey. Shadow. Um, that. Oh my goodness, everybody.
you do realize that every time
Hal. Hal, I got it now. You're a man.
you do realize that every time you walk in, Robbie, you always interrupt Kendra.
Really?
Yes, every time. It never fails.
Wendy, Terry, Rosie. Oh my goodness, Sherry B. Everyone's in here. Oh, you guys rock, man. What's going on? What are you guys doing?
Well, Kendra's about to tell us about a really interesting person that she's met.
Who'd you meet, Kendra? Oh, wait a minute. You went on your field trip.
Oh my God.
Well,
You,
actually, give him the reason you didn't go.
You
so
didn't go?
Saturday happened and we were all dressed and ready to go. And I was pulled away for just a short little thing that turned into like a 15-hour YouTube festival.
What?
So we didn't get to go, and they're not open on Sunday.
Oh.
So BS drama is
You're
what
welcome,
had to
Kendra.
happen.
Why do you guys let this drama affect you?
Dude, are you kidding me
We're
right now?
ending it now.
Okay. Well,
Dude, you know how much drama I have in my life?
We're clearing out the bad juju, guys. So get ready.
That's what I tell you to do.
Yep, that's
Just
what we're doing.
listen. Woo-ha. Woo-sa.
Woosah, woosah. Go, Kendra, go. She meant
Uh-oh.
the Dalai Lama. Sorry.
What?
what?
She met the
Scott,
Dalai Lama.
Scott said she met the Dalai Lama. Dolly wanted her to suck his tongue.
What? Hey now.
Oh my God.
Is it after midnight? No, it can't be.
No.
Almost.
Almost. Go ahead, Kendra. Tell us.
Okay, so anyway, so my friend and I were gonna have our little Zoom call, and she said, "Oh, hey, this other gal wants to say hello." And I used to work with her, and in fact, she trained me when I first started, and I took over her caseload when she left, and so we have this little bond. So she was like, "Oh, I want to say hi to Kendra," blah blah. And as Lisa and I were talking about all of this, I went, "Oh my gosh, the coincidental timing of this is amazing because my friend who wants to just come and say quick hello, her and her husband used to teach us all about other cultures, African culture being one of it, because he was born and raised in Africa. They have a house there, and he's an actual shaman.
Oh,
And
wow.
so when I first saw him, I have to say, I literally like went, "Oh, whoa, oh my God." Like, he's a big man, like
Yeah.
tall, big, and has the sweetest, deepest, softest voice you ever heard. and is like the most gentle giant. And you just could see colors coming off of this man. I mean, he was, we all just adored him.
You know who does that for me? James Earl Jones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean his voice just hypnotizes me.
Yeah. And like he has a bald head and these piercing eyes, and they have this awesome little family, and they would teach us different things about prayer and shamanism, the cultures, his personal family. And one day he also was a social worker at a different company. He was fortunately attacked by three guys with a knife and a gun and a bat,
Oh my
and
God.
beat him pretty bad. But he knows specific African techniques and defense and whatever you want to call it. And when the cops finally arrived, they all had to go to the hospital. He had to go to the hospital as well, but the three guys were worse than him. And so he was able to defend off that knife and the gun and the bat. And my girlfriend got the call. We were all sitting there in the office at the time. We were like, what happened? And so the cops came and we all were getting information about it and taking her over to see him and all the things. And it was pretty intense. And to see the scene was like, whoa. And he had no hate. He felt they were misunderstood children. And they were like 19, 20. And he wanted nothing but prayer and white light for them. And he went into a meditation for them. We were all sitting there going, who are we going to get? How are we going to get? We were all ready to fight and just be done with it. But that was not his
It's
way.
not the answer. Yeah, it's not the
And
answer.
he came in to work with her the following couple days, and we all had to, hug him and talk to him and all this stuff. And he somehow has this thing about him where he walks through the parking lot, and I kid you not, 2 days in a row, there was a little lost puppy that came out of nowhere and found him. And the next day there was a kitten. And so he was walking around the office holding these creatures who just like fell asleep in his arms. And he just has that ability. Just, it's
That
very,
aura, yeah.
yeah. And so when she came on to say hi, I said, oh my gosh. And I had to tell her kind of like what's going on. And let me tell you about my friend Robbie in Florida. And the whole talked about the farm and all that you do and everything. And I explained that, there's negativity. There's always somebody who wants to bring people down, and the jealousy and the YouTube drama and all the things. And I said, can you and your husband do a prayer for our collective group? And can you specifically have your husband do what he does with his shamanism towards Robbie's animals at the farm? Kind of
Oh,
give them a protection, give them the prayer, put the bubble over that. And she was so into the story. I talked for like 15 minutes straight. And I'm and she was like, she started to take down notes, and she was like, okay, in Bushnell, Florida, like she was really getting into it. And they used to do stuff like that all the time. And she was really touched by the different things that I was saying. And um, it was a nice moment. And then she had like tears in her eyes, and she said, he's going to love hearing this, and he's going to call out to those animals. And she was I said, yeah, maybe you can try to send some happiness towards Mort so he can be a little happier and nicer, maybe. and just, and she was like, I said, he does this stuff. He has this whole room that has all these poison reptilian things I don't even like. And she's like, oh God, not the snakes. I'm like, yes. And so she said, oh, he's gonna love that, because of course everywhere I go, everybody knows how I feel about the snakes. But she said, that's really cool, because you mentioned, these animals by name, and that, you don't even like you don't care about, snakes or whatever. But I said, right, yeah. I said, but they're there for a good purpose, and he's helped and saved the land animals. And she said, now remember, we're going to do this and send the energy over there, and he'll do his ritual for them and protect everything. But there may be a change within the animal's behavior. They may become very restless, or they may become very, very chill. And it may just be a little eerie at first. And so I said, all right. Well, she's saying sometimes you don't really notice, but sometimes there's a noticeable change. And so just forewarn. And I said, all right. So and then I got a text this morning, and he's actually going to do something again tonight. And they did it last night. And he was speaking to his mom, who's still in Africa, and she's going to do something in her hut where they lay certain rocks and certain pieces of feather and certain pieces of fur, and they do different types of skins, and they put it all around, and they have their dance that they do. And so they're going to do that in honor of them as well. So
Oh
all of
my
this is
God.
in honor of Robbie and the farm, to just continue to push out the white light, push away the dark, the nasty, the negative, and be done with it. And since it's all about the animals, figured that's the best way to
Oh
do
my
it.
God. That's incredible. Thank you.
Oh, of course.
Thank you so much. That is so touching. That really is. And I would love to meet this guy. I mean, and his wife, if they're ever in Florida, dude, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is awesome. You just love listening to him speak, and like he loves to get down and teach people and just share, and he will only do things for good, never use his abilities for bad or negative. He does not believe in that at all.
Right,
So
right. Oh man, I'd love to sit there and talk to him about Africa for I oh gosh.
oh,
He
the
he
pictures and the video they would bring back, I'm like, so this is 5 feet from the back of your house? Are you kidding? I mean, the size of these leaves, and they would walk through it, and just the creatures they would find instantly. I mean, it just seemed
do you know
unbelievable.
what country they're from?
Yeah, they're in Nigeria.
Oh, oh man.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is. Dude, he would literally freak out in my office. He would be like,
Oh
"Holy,"
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Right. Yeah. They
because
they're
I've got stuff from Nigeria, I've got stuff from Ivory Coast, I've got stuff from all over, so from so many tribes in Africa, and I've got shaman hats. I've got oh, see,
and
all that stuff to me is good juju.
it is all good juju. And they love the fact that it's the humans and the earth and everything coming back to the beginning with the animals, and they were here first.
Right,
So giving them the proper respect and the space and the place. And we can only
right.
do that through educating people. So on a general basis of what you do, they just were like, oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. I'm like, I
Yeah,
know. And I'm
that's
like, and of all things, drama just ensued. And then I happen to talk to you, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So,
that is so so awesome. That is just that's very touching. Kendra, please give my gratitude to them, and
oh, I will. I
uh,
definitely will. That's their, and
I'm very touched,
they're
honestly.
very humble. They're like nothing, like not necessary, but but I will definitely do that. They're so just giving and like quiet, humble people, but that man has powers and abilities and knowledge, and it is just cool. It just is
Yeah,
so cool.
that is amazing. That is truly, truly, it's I love stuff like that. You guys know that. And that's just how I am. It's
Yeah.
that stuff amazes me because it's people don't realize how powerful belief is. And it's one story I can think of belief is you guys have all studied, and a lot of you guys are older, so back in school they still taught history back then. And if you remember a story about Attila the Hun, he was one of the biggest conquerors, and he used to go in and just take over, and one thing when he met the Pope in uh, Italy, there
Easy on the
he
age thing, Scott said.
he got scared,
Good night,
and
Pam.
he was scared because this man had such a belief in something that couldn't be seen.
Right. Like there was
And
something bigger
yeah,
there. And
yeah, that's what stopped him from taking over there. And it's belief is a powerful thing, to believe in a higher power. And like I always tell everybody, no matter who you choose as your God, it's that belief that gets you through rough times and
exactly.
in everything. And I love stuff like that. Meeting, people that are medicine men, medicine women, and shaman and stuff like that. That amazes me. That
I
type of stuff is so cool.
it is just like it's just this weird moment sometimes where you're like, wow, there's no words but for what you're seeing and feeling in that moment. And
Right.
my dad and stepmom went to Africa right before COVID. Actually, my dad had been going
Uh-huh.
every year for 10 years, and so my stepmom finally went, and they went to Uganda, and they went on the gorilla trek, and they were two
Oh,
from gorilla, like
yeah.
silverbacks, and
Yeah, yeah.
they have video of it, and we got to see that. And so we're asking all these questions, and I said, so the one guy who's leading you, he has the one little weapon that's really going to do something. My dad's like, well, no, it's going to maybe buy us some time.
But the gorillas know them, and
Right.
it's
But he said the men knew the gorillas, and the gorillas knew the men, and
right.
they could sense, okay, it's time for us to move on. They're done
Yeah,
with looking at them. And they
yeah.
would
They're
just
done with us for the day, and
yeah. And my stepmom, I said, she's always afraid of everything. I said, weren't you scared? And she said, no. In that moment, I felt peace and calm and pure happiness. I could have died right then and it would have been fine. Like there was just this overwhelming, we are back. We are with one in the original. Like she
right.
said, it was just amazing. And they saw giraffes and they saw elephants, and they went to one of the places where they rescue the baby elephants that are abandoned because the
Yeah,
parents
yeah.
are killed, and they get to feed them. And she said, oh my gosh, it's just too cute. And the way these men bond with these elephants, she said, it is something. It just, you have to see it to just understand that there's a knowing that these animals have, and they look you in the eye. And it's just so cute. Some of the babies would come over and they'll put their little, trunks over on you, and that's their way to say hi. And the bigger ones will watch from the back. And they have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of acres, and they'll just do a few little calls, and the elephants will come out of nowhere, and
Right.
they come in. She's like, it's just fascinating. She's like, here in America, we can't get our dog to come back from down the block.
Yeah.
She's like, but these people just have like, and she's like, it's like the dog whisperer, but Steve Irwin, but like all of those people that just had a thing with animals all rolled into one when you go to Africa.
Yeah, it truly is. It's, you guys get to see videos. My crocodiles, Ricky and Lucy especially, will come when I call them. And it's amazing when you build a bond with animals like that and you have a respect that you've built. It's a next level, you know.
Right. And on, I believe it's a National Geographic, or April 21st or so. There's a new documentary about elephants coming out where they've done research and found out just how smart they are and what
Oh,
they
they're
know.
incredibly intelligent.
Yeah. And so I'm excited to see that. I was talking about that with her last night a little bit too, and saying, yeah, I'm excited for that because that's how that was, the beginning of time of our Earth. That was,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Pangea.
Dude, could you imagine how amazing it was way back then?
I have said that so many times to just look around at like the colors, you know,
Everything,
in
everything.
all of the fertile land and what was growing on it. And like, good God, you could probably walk along an opal path,
Yeah,
find crystals
yeah,
everywhere.
right.
But just like the sheer beauty of it all.
It
I
it truly, truly
I mean,
is.
look, the fruit and the vegetables alone, how different were they back then before we massacred them into what we have today?
That's one way to put it, Kendra.
Right?
Well, that apple must have been pretty darn good because, Eve was pretty into that apple.
I just feel bad for snakes, man. They got the raw end of the deal. Why'd Satan have to pick a snake, huh? Couldn't you have picked a kitty cat or something that people would have loved anyways?
Right?
Yeah.
Why did it have to be a snake?
Well, because
They're already so misunderstood.
they're misunderstood now.
They
You're talking to
are.
the wrong person, Robbie.
They're misunderstood.
They are. I've had snakes that, dude, snakes can't hear, so they
They
feel
feel.
vibrations
Right.
and they sense things. I've had snakes that I've had big venomous snakes that were puppy dogs. I've had a 14-foot king cobra before that used to crawl all around me.
Good night, Sada.
Well,
Good night, Shadow. Love you, honey. God bless. Um, it's just
Rosie said it doesn't say snake in the Bible.
it says serpent.
it is serpent.
But people took that to mean snake.
Right.
Because it slithered.
Right. Because it crawled on its belly.
Right.
Regardless, it was at least its cousin.
Yeah.
Speaking of snakes, not to bring this down a little bit, but we need your help, guys. Rob, you want to explain a little bit?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw post all over. It's all over the internet and everything, where Florida Fish and Wildlife went in and raided a guy who was permitted to have snakes and everything. And they went in there and brutally killed 34 pythons and a boa or something like that.
Why?
There's no there's no explanation for it. There really isn't. They said that they were going there to check his snakes because they had a report of a loose python in the area. All his snakes were there and accounted for, so they were going to confiscate his snakes, and they said he chose to have them euthanized. But if you listen to the video, You can clearly tell he had no choice in the matter, and he was crying and hysterical and everything. He did not tell them to euthanize those animals, and that'll all come out once it goes to court. They, by their
Thank you,
lawyers,
Flutter. I was just getting ready to post it.
they are not commenting on the situation, the people that this happened to, because their lawyers have told them not to, but it's all over the news, and it's friends from all over are calling. I actually um, sent it to a bunch of people, and I sent it to Donald Trump Jr. And
A pregnant
he
boa, yep.
he
It is, and it pisses
replied,
off Scott,
Did he?
absolutely. And what's sad,
yeah.
well,
He
what,
said, I said, uh, I know you guys are going through a lot right now, but have you seen this BS? And he wrote back, I haven't. And he said, I will look into this.
that's good.
Yeah,
And
something,
it's just, people, it doesn't matter where you live, call Governor DeSantis' office and make your voice heard, because this is absolutely insane. This is Fish and
They keep
Wildlife
adding new
Commission.
animals to this. They keep adding new
Yeah, they
animals to this list,
to
like
this
daily.
prohibited list.
Yeah, and
And
eventually it says that
29 reticulated python and 5 Burmese pythons.
yeah,
yeah,
And the owner was said to
and
have been issued a conditional species permit,
yep,
which makes that be
not
legal.
said to. He did have the conditional species permit. Not said to. He did.
So this was just
And
because of the new laws, and you're not allowed to have this, that, and the other. They just
yeah,
went into
and
kill.
yeah.
yeah, and they wouldn't let him send him out of state. They wouldn't let him do anything with him. He had to keep them. And that's same with my snakes. I have to keep them for the duration of their lives on
Hmm.
my Burmese python and my reticulated python. And
And basically, by what they've done to this guy, they can walk into Robbie's house and do the same thing.
yeah, they can walk into any house and do the same thing.
And eventually, what this could lead to, because they've actually said it somewhere along the line, that they could stop you. This could lead down to you not being able to have a fish tank in your house, birds, dogs, cats.
Well, this is so ridiculous. In New York, they just passed some kind of law on certain fish that you can't have. And in that list of fish, they actually listed a whale.
Oh my
Oh
God.
God!
A whale is not even a fish, A.
It's a mammal.
And B, where are you going to put a whale in your house?
Right?
Just throw it in the pool.
So the people doing these laws know nothing about wildlife. They are just going through a wildlife book and picking out animals. Oh, throw this on there.
Yeah, and
It's
it's when you say
absolutely
it's all
insanity
the people
what
that
they're
are
doing.
on the board of this board are they're politicians or they're no they're not politicians.
No,
They're
they're all land developers.
developers. Yes.
What do you why would you have land developers on the board of Fish and Wildlife? Why?
Makes no
You're
sense.
supposed to be for the protection of
Wildlife.
wildlife, not developing the state where you're killing off animals.
Right.
And the head of Fish and Wildlife was he got in big trouble last year because he bought wetlands and he was trying to build it up so he could develop the wetlands.
Jeez.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. So everybody needs to, if you can, just go either email, call, both. I do know that when you call DeSantis' office, you'll get a recording. Just leave your name and number. They will call you back. You can
A lot
also
of people have been getting through because they are
cool.
getting inundated with phone calls about this. And
Awesome.
they should be because this is animal cruelty. They were killing them.
Absolutely.
with a nail. It's like a nail gun. It's called a bolt gun,
Uh-huh.
and right to the head of the snake.
God,
Unbelievable.
God.
If you watch that video, Flutter put up the link. It's absolutely horrifying and disgusting.
It's
And
unbelievable.
just because it's not a cat or a dog, a lot of people aren't going to care. They're going to say, "Oh well, it's a snake." No, it's not only a snake; it's this guy's pets.
But if they get away with this, then it's
They're
going to
gonna.
be more.
It starts in the reptile community. They've already attacked the big cat community. Now the reptile community, and they're gonna go on from there. They're gonna go to birds, then fish, then cats and dogs.
Hmm.
No, Sean, you don't have to live in Florida.
You do not have to live in Florida to make your voice heard.
What other state are they doing this with? You know, I mean,
Florida is Florida is the testing grounds for all these animal laws. We've had incredible laws here for years. You have to be permitted. Not anyone can go out and buy an animal like this. You have to have a permit. You have to show you have capability of taking care of it, housing it correctly, and everything. And they check. I get inspected 3 times a year, and they call me up. Hey, Robbie, we're coming by. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I don't want. I don't care for that. Like, I don't care for snakes, but I don't care for people just ruthlessly murdering them for no reason.
There's no
right,
reason to go out there and slaughter things. There
Right.
is no reason. Even listen, even hunters don't do that. Hunters are incredible conservationists. I'm a hunter. I don't do that because you don't kill off everything that you need to survive.
Right. You need to think about repopulation and
Right,
the
right.
future. And right. It's not.
It's like on my property, I'll only shoot the oldest of the bucks.
Right.
And then during doe season, I'll shoot the oldest of the doe. And it's just because you need younger ones there. The older ones, you don't want to get disease and everything, and that wipes out populations.
right.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. It's but if they keep doing to Florida what they're doing, look what they've done to Madagascar. That place has been overdeveloped. It's clear cut. If Go look at Google Maps. Look at Madagascar. You can see in the water an a reddish orange around the whole island. That's because they've clear cut that island. They've destroyed all the rainforest, and everything is eroding. Now, in Florida is a perfect example too. Look at all
Have
these
a good
islands
night.
out here. You cannot do development around all the coast and get rid of all our barrier islands. You can't do it because then more hurricanes come and they're more detrimental because those barrier islands and the coast, all the trees and everything, that helps slow down a storm.
Right. Right.
It's there. God put that there for a reason.
Yeah.
And everybody blames global warming for everything. No, it's development is
No,
what you're
exactly.
blaming for
Man
everything.
has gone in there with land movers and they have removed things, knocked things down, and killed every species in the way. They don't care. But, I think that it happens in Florida because Florida had the climate for a lot of these different types of reptiles and other animals to
Well,
live.
South Florida does.
Yeah.
North Florida, we don't get Burmese pythons up here, nor will we in my lifetime, my kids' lifetimes, my grandkids' lifetimes, my great grandkids' lifetimes. For that to happen, you would have to have evolution. And evolution, as we all know, takes thousands of years. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like I said, it takes thousands of years, and it just gets too cold up this way. In Miami, even iguanas and pythons are found dead when you have a serious cold front.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
nothing will make it north of Lake Okeechobee, iguana wise, or um, python wise. And are they in South Florida? Yeah, they're there. Are they in the numbers that they say? No, that's an absolute lie. They it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Will they ever get rid of them? Nah, they're there. They're there, and they'll be there forever. But are they the ones responsible for the loss of other species? No, we just saw a video of a gator eating a big Burmese python in the wild. It happens. It's nature finds a way to go all over the planet. And this was a hurricane that wiped out a importer down there, and stuff escaped. And years and years and years later, it started breeding in the wild. Yes, there are a few Burmese pythons. I'd say there's over 1,000 easily, but to say there's over 200,000 is absolutely ridiculous. That means you could go out any night and find a Burmese python. I've gone out plenty of nights and not seen one. I've lived in Florida since '93. I've only ever seen three. Now, I've lived up here 23 years, so we're not going to see them up here, or 26 years now, whatever it's been. I don't even remember now. Um, but it's just it's amazing to me the junk science they use to scare people,
Yeah.
to put fear in people so that people will vote this way. And it's not even voting. It's they created this list and they just add species to the list at their own whim, and
Yeah.
it's not even voted on.
Yeah, it's terrible. So
It's
we just
it's
need to contact Ron DeSantis' office, make sure he knows all about it, which even though we
Just
know he
say what
doesn't,
happened, what happened with these snakes. Be polite, because it's not their fault. It's Fish and Wildlife who are to blame.
yeah,
And when you call, you be polite and say what they did was outrageous. I want to know who's going to be held accountable for this.
Yeah, like why in the world did they just get it up their butt to go to this particular place? Like, wait, what went through their mind for this? Like, and they were laughing about it?
And
Like,
if you watch the video, the fishing game guys are smiling.
now I
Well,
know like a lot, not all, but a lot of the reptiles and things, come out of Florida that we buy and they get sold all over America. So, there's probably a lot of places they can just pick and choose to, bully at, but
yeah,
that that's not okay. I mean,
it's
some of
it's
these people are keeping species alive.
you know what? A lot of people will say, but Robbie, animals either belong in zoos or the wild. Well, the wild is disappearing. So once they disappear from the wild, the only place they're going to be is in zoos. And another flip side to that is zoos breed a lot of things, but there's a lot of different animal species in the world. So zoos don't have the people or the knowledge to figure out how to breed certain things in captivity, where a lot more things were figured out how to breed them in captivity than in zoos. So captive production is going to ensure the survival of a species.
Right.
And, you know, the thing that scares me most is people just have become so just I I don't afraid of everything, and no common sense anymore these days. And it's like, and I spend my whole life trying to educate people on wildlife. and sharing my passion. And it's scary to think that, you know, my son, when I'm dead, he might not be able to teach his kids about something about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're at a real fast pace of not caring enough about our planet we live on.
And listen, this is the other thing. If you put an end to this, guess what? We can't go to schools and do education shows to kids. So kids don't get to learn about wildlife and they don't develop a passion for wildlife, which means when they become adults, they're like, in the news, you see, oh, the Florida panther no longer exists. The last one died. And they're like, oh, well, who cares?
Right.
Because they didn't learn anything about it. And they didn't, no one got a chance to light a fire in that child. And you guys know, I've pointed out different people that have worked for me over the years that are professionals and work in this industry and are great people in this industry and work in zoos as directors, as curators, and one is Venom One. And, I've had several people that I've come up to me and they were like, "Oh my God, Robbie, I just want to thank you so much. When I was a kid, you came to our school, or I watched Swamp Brothers, or I met you, and you were the one that ignited the fire in me to love animals."
Yeah, see, that's awesome. That is so cool that you've been able to have that, experience. And
And that
Tandy
that
said
to me
doesn't
makes my life worth it.
Tandy
But
said some snakes need to be reproduced for the anti venom, don't they?
um snakes, yes, they do because some people are allergic to the synthetic version of it, and so
Good
therefore
night,
you need
Peggy.
the real version of it. Um,
Love you too.
and there's over 1 million venoms in the world. Good night, Peggy. I love you, sweetheart. God bless. There's so many venoms in the world that have not even been researched enough yet. Out of over, let's say, I forget what the exact number is, but it's over 1 million venoms. And out of that, we've only researched 1%. And out of that 1%, you've got a drug that's used for strokes. You've got a drug that's used as a heart medication. You've got a drug that's used in a pain medication. You've got several other drugs right now. They're working on the blood of crocodilian for a super antibiotic. They're working on the bacteria in the Komodo dragon's mouth to try to figure out stuff, because in the Komodo dragon's mouth, they just discovered in the past 20 years that there's certain bacterias in there that have never even been known to man.
oh wow.
So
Sue said, look
there's,
at the fire you lit under Nick when he came to visit you.
yeah, look, Nick was a kid that was doing terrible in school, and he used to watch Swamp Brothers. And I told he wanted to move here, and his dad was like, he's going to be a dropout. And now the kid's in college. He's teaching college courses. He's working at the zoo, plus maintaining, full-time student in biology and everything, doing lectures and everything. And he's doing all this there because he knows when he graduates, he gets to move here and work with me.
Wow.
And that totally changed because I told him, no way, no. You got to get your butt together in school, get your grades. I want you in college, and I'm not going to let you come here till you have a degree.
Right. Because
And
then he's going to make such a difference with,
yeah,
yeah.
and the kid's doing it. The kid is incredibly smart, and I knew he was. He was just being lazy and being a bad kid.
And
But I
he
gave him I
he
gave him something to
found
look.
his passion. He found something
Yeah,
that excited him.
yeah. He thought he was going to drop out of school, move here, live with me, and just do all the fun stuff we do. But he learned real quick there's a lot. It's a lot more to it than just fun stuff, and you're not going to do it unless you have a degree because I'm not going to let you. And he could have gone to someone else, and they would have said, "Yeah, come on." But I'm not going to do that because I want people to become their potential and to make a difference in the world. And each and every one of us can make a difference in the world. And even if it's the slightest, smallest difference, that's it's a difference.
Right.
Leave your footprints. We come here, leave your footprints.
See, Flutter's out there right now trying to kill some worms. She- She's ready for some fish catching. She's keeping the population down for us.
Nick is awesome, and all the guys that worked for me in the past, Rich, Mike Garvey, uh, it's all these guys,
Right.
big country, Chucky from down south, all these guys. It's they've been so incredible. And when I was a kid, I was fortunate enough to intern for one of the most famous toxicologists with snake venom, studying venoms in the world, Dr. Sherman Minton, and I got to spend a summer there, with doing stuff with him, and it was incredible. And I've always just busted my butt.
Robbie's gonna have his house full one day soon. Him, his wife, daughters, Nick, Z-Dog, Patty, and all their babies.
Oh goodness.
Well, maybe some
It
of them
takes
want to get their own houses.
it takes a village, baby. It takes a village, and there's property here. They can build a house.
Make the long journey next door for a cup of sugar.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
It's just I'm just a firm believer. I have a passion, and it's a passion for life, people, animals, and everything.
I like animals. I always have.
She
It's
doesn't like
they're
people too much. Just kidding.
No, people are, yeah. But animals,
dude.
they're
If you've got a pet and you're having a bad day, doesn't it make you better when you go sit and play with your pets and
Oh
right.
my
stuff?
god, if I'm having a bad day, my dog comes up, jumps on me, and lays her head on my chest and looks up at me.
Dude,
She's like, awesome.
I can go play with baby crocodiles. I can go sit with Lucy and Ricky right outside their cage, and they
Now,
come
I
right
don't know
up.
if I'd want to sit and hang out with Lucy and Ricky.
I do it a lot. I'll sit right outside the gate there and just watch them.
I'd hang out with Jupes, though,
Yeah,
and I'd hold her hand.
Jupes and more all of them.
She's
Give a
so sweet.
lollipop to the kinkajou.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, that is the cutest little thing. Oh my god.
I'll go lay on Tebow,
Sam,
talk to him for a minute or
Ethan, I
two.
hope your mom's feeling better today.
Isn't it amazing how animals just sense like what you're feeling?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It really is.
Oh,
Cause like I
oh,
could
when
be
I'm upset, I
talking.
go in the house. The dogs are even Jupes is she'll sit there and lick me and lick me and lick me and just till you're like, okay, enough, stop, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Animals are also really connected to the spirit worlds,
Yeah,
and they definitely are.
yeah,
And
100%.
there's been so many crazy things that have happened, and it's always with animals. And I live in some portal of I don't know what, but the sheer amount of animals that have found their way to our door, and I'm like, what is up? Why is there a frog here today? The most random creatures have appeared here. It's something. It's just, and they come right up to us. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I
Sue
don't know
said
how many
you.
times Gary walks in holding a praying mantis. I'm like, get it out.
So you said you turn me around when it comes to snakes. I used to never be able to look at them. Now I wait for you to clean the hot room. Don't think I'm gonna at the point of holding them though.
And I don't expect people to say, okay, Robbie did. Let me go. I lost my fear. Let me go out there and do it. But the snakes aren't this evil thing. They're not slimy. They're not, they're so misunderstood. And I've got some of the deadliest snakes in the world, and I have close calls working with them. But it's my love. It's my passion. I couldn't think of anything else I would want to do in life.
You know, it's funny.
And
Gabe would say to me, like, I don't know, like maybe 2 years ago or something. He says, I don't believe this. I don't believe this. You're sitting here watching crocs and alligators. He goes, and I couldn't get you to watch this ever. He goes, and now you're sitting there and you're watching this whole thing. He's like, unbelievable. I am so, like, what is this?
yeah.
I remember,
I'm
Ria,
like,
you were saying it
I don't
one
know.
day to
That's
me, and I
Tebow,
went,
man.
"What? Alligators? Okay."
Dude, I just got
It's,
two lemurs in the mail.
oh,
I
yeah.
I do want a pet. This is like the most bizarre thing. I've always wanted to. It must be from some cartoon I saw when I was a kid. Pat an alligator on the nose. I don't know why. It's like you can't just do that. I'm aware, but I'm like,
She's afraid of snakes,
why?
but she wants to pet an alligator on the nose.
You
They're
could
not as evil.
it you could do it. I mean,
Wow, that's not
there's an
crazy.
alligator down south, a friend of mine, Jim Nessie has named Bubba, and there's old pictures of me when Swamp Brothers was still on TV. We used to go up to Chicago and go with Jim, take Bubba and go do the circuit, go to the news stations and do appearances. And I'd be sitting there on the floor, and Bubba be laying right across my lap, and he was 7, 8 feet long, and his head right on my lap, untaped and everything. And we'd get in the van to go to the next place, and Bubba would ride right there, and I'd be laying down with my feet by Bubba's face and my head on his tail,
Wow.
Wow,
and just
because one swift move and you could be a goner.
yeah, yeah. But that gator was so incredible, and is still that incredible because Jim works with him every single day and just spends the time with him. Jim tells him to load up in the van. He walks over to the van and gets in the van.
Oh
He'll
wow,
step up on the side door,
Good night,
the
Sweet Cheeks.
little runner thing, and get in the van.
Mimi's
that's
mom said it's a lot in the way we were raised to believe.
100%, 100%. You know, all of you guys and me and you guys, we weren't. Our parents raised us. They didn't rely on video games and TVs to raise us.
right.
You
Robbie
know,
Scott Roberts said, "What about Gator Chris there in Florida, who's always barefoot working with his gators?"
Gator Chris is incredible. I love Chris. I was just talking to Gabby and Chris a little while ago, and I've actually got a housewarming present for them because they're moving up just about an hour north of me, about 2 hours north of me, and I was just like an hour ago before I got on here talking to them.
Good night, hon. Sleep well.
You know,
Wow.
it's
Is
Sandfire.
Gabby the girl who does birds?
Yeah, Gabby, that's Chris's girlfriend, and they just bought a place together, and they're going to do an animal rescue up there. She does a lot of birds. They do a lot of animals. They're great people.
Mike, the airplane repo guy, swims with his gators.
Mike is a Hal. We won't go into the story of that. Mike is a very close friend of mine. He was on Swamp Brothers on a couple episodes with us. I brought him on, and I'm the one who actually wrote Airplane Repo and put that show together. Ethan, have a good night at work, buddy.
Yes, Tandy.
Yeah, Chris swims with Casper.
Casper.
And he also messes with Seven, but Seven can't be trusted like Casper can.
I hear Casper and I just think of the ghost.
Yeah,
Casper,
I know.
it's
the ghost.
There's got to be a
Tan,
white one, right?
Tandy. I was the first one swimming with alligators, and then I refused to do alligator wrestling shows and everything. I used to do interaction shows, and Tebow was the first gator that you could actually swim with and everything.
See, I want to swim with Tebow.
Oh
I,
my God.
I couldn't swim with Tebow right now. It's breeding season, and also I don't spend as much time as I used to with Tebow. Every single day I used to be in his pen for a minimum of 1 hour, and I
So
just
why
don't
don't
have
you
the
bring him
time.
over to? Well, wait till it gets dark. Bring him over to the pool over here. There's a pool that's really small. We can go in, hang out. You know.
He'll eat someone.
Yeah. I love Tebow. I think it's so cool the way you just lay on him and just chill.
He's awesome. He's awesome. And that whole group of gators, I used to just lay down and I'd fall asleep with my head on Tebow's tail, and I'd wake
Yeah,
up
I
and
don't know if I could do that.
I'd have gators across my stomach, across my legs, and get woken up by a gator crawling up by my face. And it's
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah, really? God bless you. I
Yeah,
couldn't
Tebow
do it.
was the first gator that you could actually swim with in Florida.
He's so big.
He's huge. He's probably about 1,100 pounds now, a little over that, and he's
And
12
then
feet.
gator floaty, y'all.
Yeah.
Someone's buying me a peen uh floaty. And
Oh
I need a
geez.
gator floaty. Can you imagine? Can you imagine going? Oh my god.
It's I was in I did a clip years ago, and I only did a couple seconds of the clip because I didn't want to put out there
Right, Sandy?
swimming with alligators because I didn't want kids to go try it and get eaten.
Right.
So
Wow.
we just did the thing where I held onto his back and you could see him going and I'm holding on and cut the video. We only did it for a second.
Whoops. Do you know approximately how old Tebow is?
We know he's probably around, but I'd say between 40 and 60. He
Wow.
Wow.
was he was 10 feet long when they caught him as a nuisance alligator, and he used to actually chase me around the pond trying to kill me.
Oh.
And we had him and Everett were the two big bulls in that pond, but then Tebow started fighting with Everett, so we moved Everett into the Gator Marsh, and I haven't worked with Everett in 3 years now.
Oh.
And you guys saw what Everett will do now. You throw a bucket in the water, and he comes chasing me. um,
Robbie, don't
he's
you want to swim with Ricky and Lucy?
oh heck no,
Oh
no. I swam with the big saltwaters that are from Gatorland. They used to be here on my farm, and we taped up their snouts, and I swam with them, and they tried to kill me.
my gosh. Peen surfboards flutter.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
They probably could make a big one though.
Yeah,
That is
Everett
hilarious.
wants nothing to do with. He just says food, and he'll come running right after me now. But I'll tell you right now, if I pulled Everett out of there and spent an hour every day to 2 hours every day, put him in his own pond,
Hmm.
he'd be right back to the way he was.
Really?
And there's, yeah, if you go on my Instagram, go back 2, 3 years, and you can see me in the water, knee deep in water, hand feeding Everett and Tebow. and
Wow,
them right in front of me. You can see me kissing Everett and Tebow on the nose.
that's crazy.
And it's he's developed a different mentality now because he's competing with all these other big gators.
Right,
And so he's like, Robbie's here, food, I'm first, and he'll chase you.
right.
Now, do alligators and crocodiles like they have sometimes like certain markings and stuff? Do they stay like that their whole lifetime, or do they change over time? And
They'll change over time, but their belly scales will stay the same their entire life. The pattern of their belly scales is like a fingerprint.
okay,
And then also, there's different things you notice about different alligators, the way a tooth grows. Our Tebow has the big nodulars on the top of his nose.
so yeah, like certain.
Yeah, there's just certain little, or like Felicia, you guys always hear me calling Felicia, and I know exactly who Felicia is, or Crazy Girl is, because Crazy Girl's teeth they're crazy. That's why she got the name Crazy Girl. Um, they're just formed weird, and they'll always be that way because that's the way the sockets are sitting. So those teeth will break off and come right back in that position. Different teeth grow different ways. There's a skin tab on Felicia, and it's back by her, I think back by her right rear leg, up about 6 inches. She's got a little skin tag, and
Oh,
you can.
Alligator bellies are squishy.
they look
They
like
are
they would
squishy.
be.
They are squishy. They're nice and soft.
Robbie, are peeps not paying attention and just hitting gators with their cars?
I don't know what it is because that always baffles me. How do you hit a gator?
Right?
And especially in a 35 mile an hour or 40 mile an hour street.
Yeah, wouldn't that cause some kind of damage to your vehicle? I mean,
If you're just getting ahead, no, it's not. But it's going to cause a lot of damage to the gator. If you hit
right,
the whole gator, yeah, you guys saw it a couple of years ago where that kid hit that 12-footer in the road. But that I could understand. He was doing 55 miles an hour. It's a 55 through there, and there's no street lights on there. So this big
right,
black thing sitting in the road, you don't see it till it's too late to brake. And
right.
that gator broke his drivetrain.
Jeez. Well, I mean, they are like little steel machines.
Yeah, and he's lucky he
Where
didn't flip the car and go into the water and die.
where'd you
Right.
get the question, Kendra?
um,
This one was 9 feet, yeah. And he was over 300 pounds. He was a big boy.
I just thought of something.
Yeah, the dark colors, they do blend into the street at night. But even 35 miles an hour, you should, even at 40, 35, 40 miles an hour, you have plenty of time to brake when you see that thing. And unless you're drunk, going home from a bar, drunk, and you don't notice it, and I guess, and whatever. But then you shouldn't be driving anyways.
The one on today's video is 9 feet. How you not see them?
It's because they're black and it's black top on the road and they sort of blend in. But I don't understand how you don't see them because I pay attention when I drive. I'm a very defensive driver.
Right. Now,
That'll
Robbie,
be
do you plan on
luck I'm
taking
run
any?
into
Yes,
animals.
Scott. What's that?
Do you
I'm
plan
gonna
on
run in.
taking? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna run into animals now on dark roads. It's always like my fear.
Well, I can understand running into mammals and everything because
Scott,
they run out in the road. They run out.
Yeah.
And a gator's not like a deer. They're walking slow when they're going across.
right.
That's what I don't understand. Yeah,
How
wild
like a wild
hogs
hog,
and
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
those
Have
animals
any of the
just
baby alligators? Are you gonna like take one and like really like handle it one on one on a constant basis to where like you could literally have them walking around with you anywhere and not attack anybody? You know what I mean? Like,
um I've done raised a couple gators. Well, I've got a few right now that I can just pick up and they don't even try to bite you or anything.
uh-huh.
But I don't once we get going really good and I can get a bunch of people working here, then yeah, I'll just play with animals all the time and making sure people are doing their job and I'll spend more time with animals and do stuff like that.
Right.
But
Right now it's hard.
it's so hard and just being able to film and everything and
Yeah.
take care of the animals and then go run and do what we got to do and it's a tough thing.
Yeah.
How long do they live, those gators?
They could, just like a human's life. They could live anywhere from
Oh,
30 years to 100 years old. So you got to think of them just like a human's life.
Wow. So so Tebow's getting old.
Yeah, he's an old man.
No.
He's an old man. He's grouchy on days, and right now during breeding season, he's grouchy a lot because there's other males that are bellowing from the marsh, and he hears them, so he starts bellowing, and then the crocodiles start bellowing, and it sounds like Jurassic Park out here. Every night, right about sunset, they start, and then every morning, right about sunrise, they start, and it sounds like Jurassic Park. Or when the trash truck comes to get the dumpster,
Right.
and they're emptying the dumpster. There's something about that dumpster that it's hitting a note that the gators think it's a gator bellowing, so they'll start bellowing,
I mean, you
and
know how you
then
move your gators by tapping them on the nose? Can you do that with the ones you rescue too? Oh,
we that's
I'm
we
guessing
do it.
the gator that you caught and you released finally went into the water, right?
Oh, he went literally as soon as we stop filming, and I go, all right, Zoe, let's go back to the house. He'll go in the water a little bit. What happens is they build up lactic acid, so they don't want to move because their muscles are sore.
Right.
And as soon as we stopped filming, literally, he stood up and walked right in. I was like, are you kidding me?
He looked dead.
I know. I
I'm like,
know.
I
I was
cannot
like,
move. I'm like,
I
he's
was like,
playing dead.
seriously?
He's playing dead. He's playing dead.
I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Now, so I asked you about the gators. Now, what about the lemurs? Are you gonna take one and like fully train one of the lemurs, the babies?
I don't pull lemurs, ringtails, because when you do that, you bottle feed them and they end up like Mort. With like the big troop, Lisa,
Uh,
we take little kids in there,
yeah,
and we've taken babies in there, and they won't attack someone
right,
because they're a troop. They're all raised by the troop, so
right,
they have respect for humans. They don't treat a human as an equal. When you
right.
bottle raise them, they treat you as an equal. So when they hit sexual maturity, then they become jerks, like Mort.
Hmm.
Like we have Mort and Louis. Louis can be trusted a little more than Mort, but not much more.
Yeah, because like when Gabe went over to Louis, and yeah,
Yeah,
you said that
well,
he didn't like see you thought it was the hair. So I was like, well, Gabe, don't touch Louis. And he's like, but
yeah,
he's putting his back up. And he goes, Gabe goes, he's not gonna spray me or anything, is he? I'm like, it's a lemur. Like we're gonna spray you.
lemurs. You guys saw Chris's arm, man. Lemurs
Yeah.
have the largest canines for a primate their size, and their canines are like steak knives. They
Wow.
just slice,
Yeah. But
and it's
Louis loved Gabe, the Heritage Father.
Yeah, but
He just wanted his background.
Louis loved Chris.
Yeah.
Chris used to sitting on the ground in the cage with Louis in his lap,
So what made him do
and
that?
probably Chris's keys. He reached for his keys,
Ah.
and Louis wanted his keys, and Chris, didn't wasn't thinking that, and Louis just attacked him for it.
Ah.
Yeah, Chris got hurt. He had 6 stitches. When a lemur bites you, you can count on a cut that is to the bone and 6 inches long.
Ooh,
Wow.
their little mouths don't look that big.
Yeah, they are
Good thing
huge.
there was a cage between him and Louis
Yeah,
then.
and
You pulled your
you know,
ponytail, Mimi?
yeah, the nails aren't too bad, Hal, because they've only got like 2 long nails on each foot, but they
I
can
love
cut
their
you.
hands.
Their hands are the same as their feet.
I know. I'm just saying. I love their hands. Well, Duke's. She's the
Yeah.
only one to let me hold her hand. And she literally, like, she's so soft. I'm like, oh my God, I love this thing.
Yep.
I do. I love her. She's so soft and sweet.
And it's I know I preach it constantly. Animals are just like humans. They have good days, they have bad days, and you just have to you have to be around that animal to know what what kind of day it is. Now, what the thing I love about our big lemur cage, if one of the lemurs is having a bad day, he just won't come down close to you.
Right.
They stay away. You guys have seen when Julian will be totally sitting on my lap eating, and I'm sitting there petting him and rubbing him, everything. Other times he's like, "No, I don't want that. Just give me something to eat. I'll eat up here." It just
Right.
depends. It just depends on their mood.
Have you found out the sex of the new babies?
No, we won't even attempt to yet. I'll wait till they're getting off and coming outside the cage and then grab one quick and sex it. I don't want to stress out the moms and until they're older.
How
Right.
And
old
then
are they now?
the moms don't even really get stressed out.
What did you say, Kendra?
How old are they now?
Oh God, what I'd have to go look up what date they were born. They're just starting to eat little pieces of fruit and vegetables.
They're so cute. They really are.
But when we're feeding, we're trying to put our finger in there and touch them on the nose and stuff just to get them used to us and everything.
Right. Now, is Zelda still coming out like Baby does?
Yeah, Zelda does, but the other one really is getting too big. Her
Baby
sister
is?
is no, Zelda's sister, not
Uh,
sister, but cousin, I guess, or half sister because it's the same father but different mother.
it's so cute.
How many
It's
are there now?
oh God. Z, how many lemurs do we have now? Ringtails? Le no, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Huh. They don't multiply quite as fast as the rabbits, huh?
No, I'm still hopeful we'll get at least one more out of Julian's group. The one female still looks pregnant, but I don't know. And if they don't, they don't. They took a year off. It's okay because that's just nature.
Right. Now, do
I
they
got
have
to
to?
do that. I have yet to go over to their cage, Julian and Mort. I'm going to bring a chair over and just chill.
I love doing that. I'll take that white plastic chair and sit in there and just hang out. And it's fun till one's up on top and pees, and then you get wet.
Oh, fun.
But they don't do it out of, hey, I'm gonna pee on them. They're just
Right.
running around, being a lemur.
Yeah.
Now, do they have to see a vet or get like some kind of yearly checkup or shots or
Our
something?
vet, our vet just they don't do shots. Our vet checks on them, and we do. You see us. I'll feed pumpkin. I'll feed squashes, and I'll also during the fall I'll rake up oak leaves, throw them in there because oak leaves, pumpkin, squash all works as a dewormer. So I don't like to give them um, pharmaceutical dewormers, and you don't have to do rabies shots for them. You don't do that because it shortens their lifespan. And you got to remember all these medications, they're hard on your kidneys and liver.
Right.
And these guys, we naturally worm them. And our vet has checked fecal samples, and he's like, dude, they're awesome.
15 super gliders? Oh my gosh.
That's cool.
Gabe wanted one.
Oh my goodness. At one time, we had like 60 sugar gliders because we had a big walk-in cage.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, these things are crazy.
So, are you going to tell us the rest of the stuff about fakers, Kendra?
um, you know, not now, no.
What fake? I don't know.
Free Spirit, 100%, they are so loud and at night when you're trying to sleep.
When you get Simba, I totally got to pet him. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
I,
god.
oh, Simba's so awesome. I want to get my own lion to raise because lions are like one of my favorite.
Me
They're my
too.
favorite big cat,
Me too.
and they're so awesome when you can raise one. And you guys remember Carl, my buddy up there in Melrose, Florida. We went to his place and filmed with his animals. He's got such a bond with all his big cats, and I've raised cats where I've had that bond, and it's the most incredible thing.
I'm so glad I unboxed like a lot of my stuff here, and I pulled out like tons of like. Yeah, I got the giraffe. You know the giraffe that I have, right?
Yeah,
They gave me. So I have the giraffe. I have like all my lions out and stuff. There's this one statue that was new that I never got to put out because Gabe bought it from for Christmas. And he he pulls it out and he goes, "Where'd this come from?" I'm like, "Hello, you bought it for me for
yeah,
Christmas." And it's like a lion just like kind of walking down like a tree branch, but like
right,
it's kind of a tree, but it's only just the branch in the statue, and it's really
right.
cool. I'm looking around my living room, like I got lions everywhere. So when you said that, I'm like, yeah, wait till you come over next time. You're gonna see
Z,
all
will
my
you grab me a water? Thank you.
all my lions.
It's
I had a
man,
cheetah couch. So I had that.
cheetahs are the ultimate.
They're fast.
They're fast.
They're just like dogs. Did you know cheetahs actually are more like a dog than they are a cat? They don't have retractable claws. Their
Oh really?
claws are out. Yeah, their claws are like a dog's claws.
I didn't know that.
Thought
And
most claws are not retractable.
all cats are retractable claws except for cheetahs.
Oh,
And there is actually a fox that has retractable claws that can climb trees, the gray fox.
Good night, Scott.
Good night, Stats.
would you ever own a wolf?
Yes.
Oh yeah, wolves are awesome. Wolves are awesome. It
Yeah,
takes a lot to
you and
it
Z were
takes
in the cage with the wolves.
yeah, it takes a lot to bond with a wolf unless you raise it from a baby. The wolves are great. you become part of their pack, you're in like Flynn.
I think we went over that pretty much earlier, Rosie. That's why Kendra explained the shaman that she knows and went and talked to.
Yeah, that is so cool. I really want to meet them, Kendra. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, find out if they come to Florida. That would be awesome too.
Yeah.
Well, we still have to get Kendra here though.
Maybe when Johnny Depp comes, you know.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Oh, I've got my
Are you gonna have?
guy I became friends with. He's from Africa. I forget what tribe it is now, right now, off the top of my head. Stefan, and his grandfather is the king of their village, and he's showing me pictures and stuff, and oh my goodness, it's so cool. I'm like, dude, why would you want to move here? Why?
Yeah,
And he's
like
laughing. He goes, because my wife, my kids. And I'm like, okay, okay, take them back to Africa. And they're like, Robbie, not everybody wants to live like that.
Right.
And
yeah,
I'm like, dude. And he's like, Robbie, running water, toilets, bathtubs, I go, rivers, boil water, drink it. Uh, outhouses are fine.
Yeah, it's stuff that we take for granted on a daily basis. You know, we
Yeah.
don't realize that they don't have things like that at other
Oh,
places.
I realize it because when I've traveled all over the world, and you do without. You
No, but
do,
I'm just
you,
saying, the majority of
we,
people don't realize
yeah.
that
yeah.
in other countries they don't have things like a running toilet, or you know what I
We're
mean?
shocked at what our country was like 100 years ago, and
Right.
other countries are not even there.
Oh,
Right.
dude,
Or
when I was
parts
a
of,
kid and we spent our summers in Hungary living with my grandparents, and they had no bathrooms when I was a little kid. They had outhouses. You
Right.
got up in the middle of the night, you had to go outside to the outhouse to go to the bathroom.
and how does that work in the winter when it's like that -40 degrees out and stuff?
Because it doesn't get negative 40 degrees in Hungary.
Oh,
A, and you know, B, the outhouse is right across from your kitchen door, which is when you walk out, it's 20 feet away, you know.
that seat's got to be freezing cold. it's
It's a wood seat.
I was gonna say it's
still got
wood.
it's still got to be freezing.
Nah.
Imagine you sit on it and termites like ate
Ah.
at it in its passes.
Termites. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh, is it going to be hurricane season soon?
Not till June,
Yeah, but we really don't get hurricanes till like end of August.
August.
Yeah, it starts to get
Knock on wood.
right. The weather's been so crazy. It was really
Wow.
Yeah.
hot the other day, like that. It was so humid. I was like, oh no, oh no. You got to give us some like good breathing room, some good weather first. Don't go from like cold to like this not being able to breathe weather. You know. And
Right.
sure enough, it happens because it's been cold the past like 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
not
And
cold.
windy.
It's been 63 and stuff like that.
Very windy, which makes it colder.
I
Today
bet
was really windy.
Yeah. Yeah.
it
It's
says
supposed
you're expected to get the historical average of 11 to 15 named storms, but only about 4 to 8 would hit hurricane strength, with 1 to 3 of them achieving major hurricane status. So it's
Like
supposed
last
to be
year.
average, I guess.
Yeah, just like last year.
They do a 30-year average.
Yeah.
I guess we missed trivia tonight. We've been talking. It's 1 o'clock. 10 after 1.
Oh, dang.
It got late.
It got late. Um, I could go for some fun dip or sweet tarts. Dang.
Fun dip?
Ugh.
Where did that come from?
I'm just
I just
no.
had some fudge.
I'm reading Flutter's
Oh,
chat. I'm thinking I don't have fun dip. I have Kit Kats and
I was
Reese's
just eating fudge.
a
fudge.
three-hole
Fudge.
I have
outhouse.
ice cream sandwiches.
I had one of those earlier, and I wonder why I'm so fat.
Sue
Oh,
says I like it when we just spend time talking. Cool. Wendy is asking how Patricia is. Where's Patty? I didn't see
um,
Patty tonight. Or
Oh
I,
yeah.
Ellie.
I don't. Is Patty working tonight, Z? Where is she? Oh, she went to bed early.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't see her or Els.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sue's got peanut M&Ms. Those are my favorite. I have ice cream sandwiches, and I do actually. I have a jar that has Kit Kats, Reese's, and Snickers in them.
Z, how's Patricia doing? He didn't ask today, Wendy. They were in panic mode today
Why?
Why?
because because Els decided to play a trick on them, and Els sent me a picture of Patty topless, and and went and told Patty, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I accidentally sent Robbie a picture of you topless."
Oh my
And
god.
Like, does she
and
have that
then
randomly on her phone?
well, listen, and
Uh-huh.
Patty is freaking out, and she tells Z. So Z's freaking out, and Z texts. I'm getting picking Piper up, and Z's still at the farm working. And he texts me. He goes, "Dad, don't look at the picture." And I'm like, "What? What is he talking about?" And then my phone goes ding, and Els sent me a picture, and it's of Patty when she was a baby, and
Ah,
she's
that's funny.
That's
That is so funny.
that's
I'm thinking to
cute.
myself, Patty's taking topless pictures. What's going on over here?
Yeah.
We have
Well,
totally
I know, and I'm
corrupted
thinking,
her.
why does Els have a picture of her half
Right.
naked? What the heck?
Oh, like everybody's saying, not to corrupt her and everything with the peens and stuff. I'm like, now she's taking topless
Oh,
pictures.
Els
What's
got her
happening?
good and got Zoli so good today. It
That's
was
cute.
funny.
Well, wouldn't Patty have known she didn't take a topless picture?
Yeah, but she doesn't think of that, you
Right.
know?
Maybe someone snagged a picture of her changing or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's so funny.
You don't think of it, and you're like,
And then
what?
you sent it to my future father-in-law? Are you crazy?
You're right.
He's like, oh my god, my father's gonna see my girlfriend's boobs.
Yep.
Why she said,
Z was totally panicked. It was so funny. And when I pulled up, he just had this look of dread. You know, he was like, and he walked right up to the truck and just looked at me. And I went, really, dude? Why am I
What
getting
see?
topless pictures of your? Here's what he writes me. Hey, did Elle send you a picture? Elle's accidentally sent a picture. Please ignore that picture.
Oh, he's
Oh
probably
my
the
goodness.
whole time when you like on your way home, he's like sitting like sweating.
Oh, you know he was. And I'm laughing
Poor
my butt
Z.
off the whole drive home.
That is so funny.
well, who knew that Els was so good
Yeah,
at the
she's.
practical
Uh,
jokes?
yeah. Did you get an Easter card from her in the mail, Kendra?
No, I did not.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I have to,
Yeah.
I'll have to show you. I can't explain it exactly, but I was like, what is? Because I figured she was jumping in on the whole like we joke about the peen stuff, right? So I thought it was something like that, and then what it turned into was pretty cute. It was very cool. I forgot to send it to you, Robbie. I know I told you about it, but it was pretty cool. So I'll have to. Yeah, I think Elsa's is pretty funny. We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah,
Elsa
how many more
is
days till she arrives?
Friday.
No, next Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next Friday.
yeah. I thought it was this Friday too. It's next Friday.
It's next Friday,
Yeah,
Z.
the 21st.
This isn't the 21st, I guess. I thought this was the 21st.
No,
No, this Friday's the 14th.
yesterday was the 10th.
Today's the 12th. Well, it is now
Mo-
that it's after midnight.
yeah. Monday was the 10th.
Yeah. Els rocks. Yeah, fun.
And she arrives on the 21st.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to take her straight to see Robbie.
You
So
guys will be coming in when we're live.
yeah. Yeah.
That'll be cool, though, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody will get to see Els arrive. That'd be awesome. But wow. Unbelievable. What a night, what a night.
Ugh.
So yeah, guys, if you can check out that video, Flutter, if you could put that link in there again. I know it's a kind of a sad video, but the more people we get to call or email Ron DeSantis' office, the more awareness we can create. And definitely
Yeah.
check out the U.S. ARC
Florida.
on Instagram. What is it?
U.S. Arc, Florida.
Yeah, on Instagram and YouTube. That video will take you right to the YouTube page. You can just subscribe there, but also check out their Instagram too. And
Wonderful organization. They're constantly fighting all these new laws that they're trying to pass and everything.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So thank you all. An email address. I'll email you. It's actually on the video, I believe.
Yes, there is an email address and phone number for Ron DeSantis' office.
Yeah, it's on the video. I think it's at the end.
Flutter just put up the YouTube U.S. Arc Florida.
Cool.
Wonderful, wonderful organization. They fight for everybody's all kinds of animal rights.
Thank you, Flutter.
Things, not only reptiles, just all animal things.
Did they deal with the big cats and stuff too?
Yeah, they were fighting with that, and there's different groups for different organizations and everything, and they were part of the fight for that as well.
Yeah. And if you look up, I remember looking up the big cats thing, and it was a little deceiving because it made you.
Oh, it's very deceiving.
Yeah, one of them made you think that they're in support of big cats, and then when really they're not. So you really,
Right.
when you're looking at some of these organizations, you have to make sure you really pay attention to their purpose and how
Right.
it's read. Like you really kind of have to read, almost like read the fine print. But because
Yep.
I was quite surprised about that. I'm like, wow, this looks like it's the opposite of what it
Well,
is.
the only reason the big cat thing got passed was it got hidden in that bill to give Ukraine so much money.
Right.
So that's how they pass a lot of laws, is they hide them in other bills.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
that bill had something like 700 and something pages, if I'm not mistaken. And who's going to sit there and has time to read through 700 and something pages
Right.
on
But
a
they
bill?
do. There are people who do. And you'll find
Yeah,
that
there
on TikTok.
yeah, there are people that do, and those are the people who are smart and realize what they're trying to pull off here. But the general public doesn't do that, and they just see
Yeah.
it as, oh, this is to give Ukraine money. Yes, we have to help them.
Right. And
And
meanwhile, on page 568, we're
this
like taking away
outlaws,
your Second Amendment rights.
right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the problem with all the bills and laws they pass these
Yeah, they're
days.
doing that a lot now.
Oh, they've been
Well,
doing it for
they've
the
been doing
last,
it, I'm sure, but
yeah,
people are noticing it a lot more now.
yeah.
It's so messed up.
And that's the only thing. The big gripe about it is it's the way you went about it and euthanize these snakes is absolutely inhumane
Yeah.
and just animal abuse. And then, I have no problem with laws being created. You have to do this, you have to do that. That's fine. But you can't, if
Good
someone
night,
breaks,
Sonda.
good night, Shonda. Love you. God bless. If someone breaks the law, you can't punish the masses.
Right.
It's like, listen,
Right. It's like
we have drunk drivers. You can't take away vehicles from everyone. You can't, you know, outlaw alcohol. They tried that. How well did that work before?
Right.
And when you create laws, stupid laws like that, you just force people, you're creating criminals because you force people to go underground with it.
were
Yep.
those particular snakes like dangerous to humans, like poisonous or anything?
No, they were pythons, and
Right, they're the
I
regular
mean,
squeezy kind.
yeah, but they're large pythons. I'm one of the people that will say any large python that is. sa- I tell my guys when I used to have literally 40, 50 big, huge snakes that were all 18 feet and above. I would tell them, look, I want one person for every 6 feet of snake. If you're taking out that snake and cleaning the cage, I want three, four people in here.
Right.
Right.
And that's just regular common sense safety stuff,
Right.
because like I said, animals can have bad days. An animal can be in shed and you reach in there and it grabs you because it doesn't see you, it just sees the movement.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's accidents happen and it happens in all walks of life in everything you do in life. You can wake up, walk out to get the mail and get hit by a drunk driver going to your mailbox.
Yep.
It's called an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, congressmen don't read all the things. They just vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a shame though that they. I think they should change that. Like they should make like a rule
For
with
what?
how they're writing these laws. It could only be this, and it has to have like
Well,
they
there
can't have
should be
anything except.
listen, there should be lots of rules. There should be term limits for Congress, term limits for Senate, term
Age
limits.
limits.
Yeah.
Yes. But isn't there like only so many things that they're allowed to pass? That's why they kind of throw things in
No,
order
they
of
can
like.
pass it. They can pass as many as they want.
I thought there was some limit. Maybe there might be, but to something else. I
It
think
just
there's a.
seems like, why is anybody in a suit in a business, environment making any kind of laws or rules around animals and the earth environment when they're not scientists? They're not
Right.
any type of,
Right.
veterinarian. They're not any kind of a person with the actual
And
knowledge of
then
that.
and then you get corrupt organizations that go out and find veterinarians or whatever. Hey, say this and let's go out to dinner and hey, doesn't your family want to go on vacation? It's
Right, right. All the bribery starts.
yeah, that's where all the dirty payola and all that starts. It's just it's insane.
Yeah.
People think, love to live in this sheltered, and I was one of those people who were like, "Oh, our government's watching out for us." No, our government's about themselves, how much money they can make while they're there. That's a proven fact. Look at Nancy Pelosi. How much is that family worth? and all she's been a lifetimer for all these politicians. They go into it with great hearts and great want to do this and want to do that, and
next thing you know, they're working on
just
what they
Yeah,
themselves and
you
have
know
their stocks and
they
their
get
free planes.
a taste of the rich life, and all of a sudden they're dirty politicians.
It's always more and more and more. It's never enough. The greed.
Right.
Wow.
Amen, Tori. You're 100% right there. What is going on right now with Clarence Thomas, right? He's being investigated, saying he took briberies.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It's not looking very positive.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I I don't even watch the news anymore. I have no idea. I had the TV on the other day, and they interrupted a show with the whole Trump thing. And that's the only reason I even knew that he was being arrested. Well, of course, Kendra, you know. But on the day, I actually saw it, and then it was like all day long. It's like, why are they doing that? I'm like, okay, I get it, it's news, but we don't need to watch it all day long. This is just like somebody else going into court and being arraigned. Like, it's the same procedure. Nothing's changing because the ex president. We don't need to be on here for 10 hours. It was ridiculous. I thought anyway. Maybe that's just me.
Do all snakes have big teeth?
no, they're all tiny teeth.
What
What's that?
Do all snakes have big teeth?
Um, it depends on the snake, what type of snake it is. Big snakes they don't have teeth, they have fangs because their teeth are huge because they're big snakes.
So they just have the two fangs?
No, they have all their teeth are considered fangs
How many?
because they're
They got
They have 20 teeth on top and bottom.
Really?
Yeah, they have a bunch of teeth. When I got
yeah, they have four rows of teeth in the top and two on the bottom
the bigger the snake is, the bigger the bigger.
4 rows?
on top.
Okay, maybe I'm liking Mr. Snaky
But they're
Snake a
little
little.
tiny. But they're tiny.
Tiny.
They are
Little little snakes, they're tiny. The teeth
Yeah.
are tiny. You seen
What was
I've
the
let
yellow snake you held at the
yellow rat snake.
No, was it a boa? It was a constrictor, right?
Oh, an albino boa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
He was heavy. I petted him.
Yeah, milk snakes have teeth. Yeah, but not big teeth.
They're not.
They're a smaller snake.
I mean, they're bigger prone to their prey.
Yeah, but don't they eat like rabbits alive and stuff?
Well, they don't usually.
You feed them. You feed them pre.
I watched one of Brian's videos, and they were feeding a big white rabbit, to a very large snake.
Oh, to the green anaconda.
I don't I don't watch none of that. Nope.
I was like, oh my god, they're throwing a huge rabbit. I'm like, and that's.
I can't watch people with their little pet snake in a glass cage drop in a little feeder mouse. I'm like, nope, can't watch it happen. I can't. It's too heartbreaking. I cannot. I understand its nature. I can't do it.
Yeah, I understand it too. I can't watch. I can't. When I saw you, Robbie, you were like, you took out the chicks and the food to defrost.
Uh-huh.
And you laid it out. Like, ugh.
That was so disgusting.
Just
in the wagon.
There to eat. I was like, oh my god.
Probably have all this dead, frozen, thawing out creatures.
Yeah.
Oh, it was disgusting. I know. Oh.
I mean, I get it, but like, no.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. You have to see me with the crickets.
Oh goodness.
There's these two little like black tubes that they go into, right? And I just take the tube and dump it in the Gabe. I will not. Gabe will just grab them with his hand, But I have to take the tube, and if they're not in the tube, I chase the crickets around and get them in the tube.
Yeah, I ain't gonna pick up a cricket either.
Robbie's like, crickets? Are you kidding? You won't pick up a
Mm-mm.
cricket?
Oh
But
my
I'll pick up the
goodness.
worms. I don't mind the worms.
Ew, see, no way. I'd rather pick up a cricket.
What?
Ugh.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
That
my God.
hornworm that was like squishy.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
I
right,
love watching them
guys.
swallow stuff.
Yeah.
Guys, it's 1:30. We have been on here
Oh,
quite a
yeah, I
while.
gotta get to bed.
I'm sorry we didn't get to trivia tonight. We've just been talking and having a good time with y'all. Is there anything you'd like to say, Robbie?
Yes, I love you guys very much. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Get swamped, share your passion, random acts of kindness. You guys all know it. Um, love y'all.
Kendra?
Good night, everyone. Sleep tight.
All
Don't
right,
let the
guys.
bed bugs bite.
That's
If
right.
they
We'll
do,
be
just
back.
bite them back.
There you
Yeah,
go.
bite them back.
There you go. We'll be back here on Thursday at 9 p.m. for our showing some of our nice little pretties, and Robbie will be on at 7 on Friday for Get Swamped. Thank you again, guys, and have an amazing rest of your week.
Nothing but a good time.
Bye.
Good night.